for Frederick. You came right back upstairs, and I saw you fell asleep. I woke up like.
Okay, we're on the internet now. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Assalamu alaikum Ahmad and Maryam. So I want to start today with a big old fat review before we do anything else. Okay. I'm gonna do this a little bit quick, but it'll be really good for you guys to take a blank piece of paper and kind of take notes for what I'm gonna do right now, because it'll really help organize your thoughts about everything that we've done so far. Okay. So write small, write neat, and follow along. Okay. All right. So we started with, I'm going to skip the part where we said there are 3 kinds of Arabic. Yeah. Because that's obvious, right? So 3 kinds of English orientation. Okay. 3 kinds of words. That's your title. What are they?
3 kinds of words. Ism,
fi'l,
and harf.
You can actually put that in one line so you save space. Ism, fi'l, and harf. And the definitions you should know by heart.
Yes. Ism is a person, place, thing, idea, adjective, adverb, and more.
Good. You don't have to write that down because it's in your head. What's a fi'l?
Fi'l is
a word that's stuck in
the past, present, or future tense.
Good. And the harf?
Harf is a word that doesn't make sense unless
another word comes after. Brilliant. Okay, so then we've got ism. And when we study ism, we study 4 properties, which are status,
number, gender,
and type. Right? Then we study status, and we study forms, how to tell, light versus heavy, and flexibility. Okay, those are the 4 things we studied under status. So we're kind of taking everything we did over the last week and crunching it together, right? So let's go over that a little bit. And this is just kind of a 1 page where everything is there, but for it to make sense, you've got to say stuff out, right? So what are the forms of status?
The forms of status are nasab.
What's the first one?
Rafa, nasab, and jar.
Okay, and Rafa is used for doer.
Nasab is for details, and then jar is the word that comes after of.
Good. Now I will tell you that nasab is used, at least for now, is used for 2 things.
Yeah.
It's used for being a detail.
Yes.
And it's also used when it's getting beat up by a harf of nasab.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's kind of doing 2 things now.
Yes.
It could be one of those 2. There's more things it does, but at least you know 2 of them now. You don't just know that it's a detail, it does other jobs too, right? And then jar was what was the definition of jar?
Jar, word that comes after of.
Right, but now we're going to go back and kind of say, maybe we should say a little bit more about jar, because it does 2 things. It does come after of. When it does come after of, it's a mudaf ilayh.
Yeah.
Right? Because the mudaf is before of and mudaf ilayh is after of. But there's another kind of jar when it's getting beat up by a what?
Harf of jar.
There's 2 kinds of jar. There's after of and after harf of jar.
Yeah.
Right? So those are the forms. How do you tell status? There's 3 ways. You can tell by ending sounds, ending combinations, or pronouns are weird.
Yeah.
Right? Now we know all about that. So what are the ending sounds and how do they work?
U, a, I, un, and in.
Right.
Combinations are...
Wait. But what does that mean? U, a, I, un, and in. Those are just sounds. How do you make sense of them? If you hear u or un, what does that mean?
U or un, that means it's rafa.
Good.
If you hear a and an, that's a nasab.
Right.
And then
U and un is rafa.
I
right.
and in.
He said u and un is rafa, Maryam. He said a and an is nasab, and you do the last one.
A and in. Or
no,
I forgot.
Good.
E and an.
E and. They all sound together. E in.
E N.
Would be
Jar.
Good. So how do you tell 2 rafa and 2 nasab and 2 jar?
By the ending combinations.
What are they? What's the 2 rafa combination, 2 nasab combination, 2 jar combination?
Muslimaini.
Which means the ani ending, right?
Yeah.
So ani would be 2 rafa.
And then the
aini would be 2 nasab or
jar.
Or
2 jar.
Yeah.
I want to hear the word 2 every time. Ani, 2 rafa, 2 nasab, and 2 jar. Okay. Then we've got the plural. How does that work?
Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini.
That was 2.
So that's
the first one.
Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina.
Right.
So Ina,
Muslimuna
Muslimuna is 3 rafa.
Good. 3 rafa. Good.
And then
Muslimina
is either nasab or
3
nasab
nasab
or
or
3
3
jar.
jar.
3 nasab or 3 jar. There's one more set of combinations. I think that's the feminine plural
Oh yeah.
combination. How does that work?
Muslimatun, Muslimatan, Muslimatin.
That's the ending sounds for it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's 1 rafa, 1 nasab, and 1 jar.
Good. Very good.
Muslimatani, Muslimataini, Muslimataini.
What is that?
That's 2 rafa, 2 nasab, or 2 jar.
Good. Very good.
Muslimataini, Muslimat.
You did that one already.
Muslimatun,
Good, Maryam. Muslimatun.
That's 3 rafa.
3
Right.
rafa, and then Muslimatin, that's 3 nasab or 3 jar. Yeah,
Muslimatin and Muslimat, that's either
3 nasab or 3 jar.
yeah, 3 nasab or 3 jar.
3 nasab or 3 jar feminine.
Yeah,
Feminine,
Okay.
yes.
That's all the sounds and combinations. And you can have the normal version, which is what you just said.
Yeah.
You can also have their light versions. What does it mean that you have their light versions?
There's no
Extra,
And
extra
N.
N, right? Now, I also told you back then, pronouns are weird. Write that down. It doesn't matter if you don't know what it means, but now you do know what it means.
Yeah.
How do you tell rafa', nasab, and jar for pronouns?
Oh, okay. So it's always rafa if it that's what was the word that you said? It's rafa.
Independent.
Independent. If it's
What are the independent pronouns? I know what you're talking about.
huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu.
Those are the independent, and they are always what status?
Rafa.
Good. So how are they ever nasab or jar?
Oh, if you take it and you attach it to something. So
Right. If you use, then you have to
huwa,
use the attached version.
Yeah. Who?
Good.
Huma or humi,
No, huma or hima.
or huma or hima, and then
Humi's cute. I'm gonna make a poster out of humi. I make a humi t-shirt.
Sure.
Hey humi, what's up?
So huwa, huma, hum. So then hum is hum, and then
Good. Hum is hum or him.
Yeah,
Sometimes
him.
it sounds better.
hiya
Yeah.
is ha, laughing.
You're right. Good. You remember that?
Yeah, huma. It's huma still,
Mhm.
and then hunna is hunna. Basically,
Good.
yeah.
Very good.
And then
Maryam,
antum.
take over from anta.
Anta is anta would become ka.
Good.
Ka, yeah.
Good.
And anta. What was the next one?
Antuma.
Antuma would become koma.
Good.
Antuma.
No more help.
Alright.
All you now.
Um.
Anta is ka, you said. Antuma,
is
kuma. Mm-hmm. You memorized the original, right? Anta, antuma.
Antunna. Or
You went to the second line. It's the first line. Anta, antuma.
antum.
Yes.
Antum would become kum.
Good.
Antuma would be, or no.
You already did that. That's now you're in the next line now. 3 words. What's the feminine version of you? If anta is for a
You.
guy, what's for the girl?
Anti.
Good.
And
anti becomes?
anti will become ki.
Good.
And then and
The 2 is always the same. Has an a at the end. So you did anta, antuma, antum.
antum.
Anti, same word again.
Anti, and then antuma.
Good.
And then
Well, what does it become?
oh,
Antuma.
and anti would become ki.
Mm-hmm.
And then antuma again.
Antuma.
Would become comma.
Good.
And then ana. Or
You missed the ladies. You ladies.
oh, you ladies.
With the crazy N.
Crazy and antunna
Good.
would become kunna.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
And then ana would become
2 things.
yeah or yeah, and then
Yeah or ni.
yeah.
Or you could say e or ni.
E or ni, and then nahnu would become na.
Excellent. 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 You struggled through it. Very good. Keep up. Keep that up. Keep reviewing it until it becomes completely second nature. Okay. By the way, you guys flooded my inbox yesterday. Oh my God. I got thousands of emails of kids from all over the world, older people, college students, families that are watching us, that are memorizing. I saw babies in cribs that are trying to distract their brother or sister while they're trying to do huma, huma, hum. I saw 4-year-olds say, hua, hua, hua. I don't know it. which is so cool to see. And I saw your notes. Some of you have put notes on your fridges. Some of you put them on your walls. Some of you said, you're losing your mind. Look at this. You look like a serial killer who's drawing up plans to, commit mass murder, but it's actually Arabic grammar, So it was awesome. It was just amazing. I was so happy to see that. And actually, what I plan to do is I plan to make an entire gallery out of all of the stuff you've sent me, and even share and read out some of what you guys sent. And some of you made shortcuts and notes and things that will help other students. So one of the hopes that I have, inshallah, when we move forward, there's a few things I want to tell you guys about that before I continue my review. I know a lot of you said you don't have a bayyinahTV account, you can't afford to get one, or they don't accept, whatever form of payment, et cetera, et cetera. I get it. So there's a couple of things. I've been struggling with the technology behind bayyinahTV for a while, but alhamdulillah, we have a very good, very capable tech team that has been able to resolve the vast majority of the issues and migrate us over to a much better platform, inshallah. More than half of the bayyinahTV subscription base is already successfully migrated over. Some of you are still having trouble migrating. And those of you that are, you can email contact@bayyinah.com. I know you may have emailed tv@bayyinah.com before or posted here, but if you just email them, if you're still having issues, they can walk you through it. And they are dedicated to getting every email address. So there's a team of people that are working around the clock that are just addressing issues with bayyinahTV so that you guys are completely onboarded before we move on to bayyinahTV, right? But here's the plan that I have for those of you who couldn't afford it, or those of you that would like to continue. I'm absolutely not going to be able to continue on Facebook or YouTube and the way we have been right now. That's not going to happen. It is going to be on a separate platform, and there are reasons for that. And the reasons for, predominantly the reasons for that is there's actually a system I'm putting in place where students can exchange with each other and, organize study material. On social media, some of you say Assalamu alaikum from Bangladesh. Others of you say, Dajjal is coming. And then some of you ask a grammar question. So there's no I can't control the discipline on social media, but I need a place where we can have structured discussions by subject. I can give you guys, have a system by which I can check your homeworks and things like that, because there's thousands of you and there's one of me, right? Or there's a couple of us with with me and the TAs. So what I'm hoping for is that we have a platform where much of this becomes organized way more. The classes, the lectures, the concepts I'm teaching you, the notes are already organized. But organizing the students, organizing how you're going to do your assignments, organizing your communications with each other, all of that also needs a level of organization so that this really takes the next level, and that's what I'm hoping to accomplish. So for that purpose, pretty soon I'll give you a different email address. And for those of you that I will ask you to show me in the next 3 days, because we only have day 8, 9, and 10 left, right? So there's quite a bit of work left. But in those 3 days, I'll give you an email address. I haven't set it up yet, but I will. That's for those of you that have been following this course and been working hard, struggling through it. I want you to show me your notes. I want to show me something. I want you to show me that you did work. And I will add you. There's already a list of people that want a bayyinahTV subscription, can't afford it, and they're hoping somebody would sponsor them, right? But this is a different list. This is a list of people that showed that they are dedicated and they want to do work, and they just don't have the opportunity to afford a bayyinahTV subscription, right? Which is like $11 a month. $11 a month for someone here in the United States may just be a trip to Starbucks, right? It may be nothing, but for somebody in a different country, especially given the COVID situation, maybe way too much, maybe extremely difficult for them to do, right? So I want to connect people that want, other students that want to sponsor you and do so anonymously without you being embarrassed. But I want to be able to give priority to those people that actually made the time and effort and really want to do this. And they're moms that sent me videos that were, they got their video on their baby that they're taking care of, and they're doing bata kafla one, the baby's going and they're struggling through it anyway over the baby's sound, which is amazing. And those people, they should be sponsored. And me and you, me and the rest of the student body, me and the rest of the ummah, we should be sponsoring people like that. We should be helping people like that, right? So I'm going to do the best I can to sponsor as many students as possible, and I'll open that up. But that's coming soon, because I actually don't want to leave anybody out. Anybody that's been in this program that really wanted to learn and couldn't do so, they should be able to do so. And you know what? If I don't find a sponsor for you, I'll sponsor you. I'll figure out a way to get it done. We have our own technology costs and servers and whatever else. We have our own bills to pay, but it doesn't matter. I want to invest not just time in you. I'll sponsor you myself. That's how committed I am to seeing people that are putting this work in and to appreciate them. Because when you take me as a teacher, you're giving me respect, right? You're honoring me, and I want to honor you back. That's really what I want to do, because that is a form of it's a very beautiful, profound spiritual relationship between a teacher and a student, especially when they're studying Allah's word, right? So that's something that I wanted to just kind of throw out there, and inshallah, you'll get more specifics in the coming days. My intention for all of you is to progress consistently. It'll get easier as time goes. And right now, and I want to address this too as I finish this review. Many of you are struggling and you're like, I can't remember everything. It's all getting mixed together. How am I supposed to retain this? My brain is frying. Oh my God, I feel like the voice that you said, oh my God, I feel like I'm that dumb now. Yeah, you can feel like that. That's great. But you know what? I already knew you were going to feel like that. I've been doing this a long time. This is a Texas expression. This ain't my first rodeo. I've been doing this I've been torturing brains. I've been melting students' brains for a long time. You are exactly where I need you to be. You're exactly as frustrated as I need you to be. You're exactly struggling as I need you to struggle. I know I'm not the kind of teacher that just wants to see students be perfect, and anybody who's not perfect, I'm like, not good enough to be my student. No, that's not me. I want you to struggle. I want you to not have the answers. I want you to forget stuff. I do, because I want you to go through that pain and then conquer. Because once you go through that pain and then you come out on top at the end, oh man, that's a feeling. That's a sense of accomplishment. There are people in life that like they want to do better at anything, whether it's exercise or sports or whatever, right? Somebody wants to run around the block, right? And they run out of breath. They halfway down the block, they run out of breath, right? And they're like, if I could just get to the point where I can run out the entire block and not run out of breath, my goal is accomplished. And then once they get there, then they say, I don't need to improve anymore, I'm good. But then there are some other people who say, now I could run around the block once without losing my breath. I want to do it twice without losing my breath. Once they get to 2, they want to get to what? 3. Then they want to get to 4. And once they get to 4, they want to go faster. And then they keep finding another challenge for themselves, right? And that's the kind of person I want you to become in this and in everything else in your life. Challenge yourself constantly. Push yourself constantly. Life is too short. Life is too short for us not to push ourselves to our maximum potential. Life is too short for you to complain, oh, I can't do it. It's so hard. Yeah, of course it's hard. Anything worth it is hard. Anything worth it. If it was easy, everybody would know it. And everything that's worth more requires more effort. So it's not just Arabic that I want to train you in. I want to actually help you through this study develop a kind of personality that you like challenges. You don't get scared of challenges. You don't get scared of hard work. You don't lose hope because of it. You push yourself even more. Oh yeah, challenge? Here I come. Okay, because I know Allah will make it easy. I know He'll push me through it. So what if one concept you don't understand? You know what happens for some people? They're just waiting for the first difficulty to come. The moment it comes, they're like, I can't do it. That's too much for me. Yeah. Nope.
No poor mentality, guys.
No poor mentality. Take it from this kid. Take it from Maryam. But they struggle. They work hard. And it's that hard work that makes me love them. That makes me want to teach them even more. It's not, oh, I memorized it perfectly, therefore. Who cares if somebody memorized it perfectly? Good for you. Allah made it easy for you. But some people Allah loves so much, He wants them to struggle. And He loves watching them struggle for love for Him. So congratulations if it's tough. And by the way, that was all part of the plan, because I'm going to teach you all this stuff over again. After 4 days after this class is done, we're going to start over. And we're going to start with 3 kinds of Arabic. 3 kinds of words, and we're going to go through all of it again. And you know how many exercises we skipped?
Yeah, we
right?
skipped a lot.
We're not going to skip any of it. The second time around, we're going to do all of it, because then I don't have to spend so much time explaining to you some of this. Oh yeah, the first time I kind of got it, but now I really get it. And that ding, that bulb that goes off on top of your head, I can see that bulb. I can see those bulbs. That won't happen the first time. Those bulbs will come on some things and not kind of flicker in some other things
Yeah.
and pop in some other things.
Yeah.
But the second time around, all the bulbs are going to start lighting up. That's why I'm doing it twice. That's the method. So you completely solidify. You absolutely solidify. So the course is starting now, and what you're experiencing is the first pains of it, and that's okay. Just like some of you that do exercise and work out exercise for the first time, are you going to be sore?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you exercise for the first time, you're like, oh, oh, is this happening to me? But you know what? There's a kind of sweetness in that soreness.
Yeah.
Like when you play basketball and you're like, you can't walk straight for a little while.
Yeah. I did like 40 squats or 50 squats in a row.
Holy Allah.
And then I couldn't walk for like a day straight.
Yeah, but it feels good.
Yeah, like the pain, like it feels kind of.
Yep, and it makes you stronger the next time.
Yeah.
And then the next time. That's what I'm doing here for you. Okay, Mariam, can you grab that remote and turn that TV on, because I want to be able to see what they see, because I don't want to keep turning this way. Okay, so let's finish our review now. Okay, so the forms, how do you tell status? We talked about how to tell status was you can tell by ending sounds, you can tell by ending combinations, the pair combination, the plural combination, the feminine plural combination, and you can tell pronouns are weird.
Yeah.
The independent ones are rafa, and the attached versions are always nasab or jar, right? So that's how far we got. Since we're on the pronoun subject, let's just talk about that. We'll make a separate title for that. But so I'll leave it for now. So light versus heavy. Light versus heavy means that if you have muslimun, the an or in, those are heavy.
Yeah.
And to make them light, you do a or e.
Yeah.
If it's ani, aini, then the light version is a, like the noon goes off.
Yeah.
If it's una, ina, then it's u, e. The wow stays and the ya stays, but the noon disappears. If it's muslimatun, muslimatin, then the light version becomes muslimatu, muslimati. So ayatin would be ayatu, ayati. That's light and heavy. And we said that we don't care to ask the question about light and heavy when there's an al on a word, right? Now, back then I told you that there are 4 reasons a word should be light. Actually, in class, we already kind of talked about 3 of them.
Yeah.
But 2 of them in detail, one of them I just kind of mentioned and we kept going.
Yeah.
Mudaf is always light. You know that, right?
Yes.
So that's like the number 1 reason. I said there's 4 reasons to be light. The number 1 reason is mudaf, because that's actually a fill in the blank already. Okay. The second reason something is light is it's a non-Arab name. Remember, those guys can't be heavy. So you already know 2 of the 4 really well. The third one I kind of mentioned in passing was when you call somebody, like, the Arabic word for boy is waladun.
Yeah.
But if you call them, then they have to be light, like ya waladu.
Yeah.
You don't say ya waladun, you say ya waladu, right? So you just drop the tanween or the heavy ending and you make it light, right? So that's light versus heavy, and that's enough. And normally words should always be what? Heavy, right? And you have to have one of those 4 reasons to be light. So as a student of Arabic, when you see a light ism in the Quran, you're like, I need to know why this became light.
Yeah.
If you see a heavy ism, you're like, it's doing what it's supposed to, I guess. It's a normal day for you, so you keep moving. Okay. Then there was flexibility. When it came to flexibility, I gave you a shortcut. I said, remember 3 names: Muhammad, Yusuf, Musa. Good. Muhammad, Yusuf, Musa. Why those 3? Muhammad represents fully flexible Arabic words. Muhammadun, Muhammadan, Muhammadin. Good. Then Yusuf represents partly flexible words. Yusufu, Yusufa, Yusufa, meaning the rafa ends with u, the nasab ends with a, the jar also ends with a. Okay. Then there's Musa, which means you can't change nothing. It stays the way that it stays, whether it's rafa or nasab or jar. So the 3 ways of saying Musa is actually 1 way. Musa. That's why those 3 names, Muhammad, Yusuf, Musa, will help, right? We did an exercise where we talked about the jar of the word Muhammad and the word Ibrahim.
Yeah.
We said, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin. Say this with me. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima fil alamin innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So in that prayer, when we send our salutations to Prophet Muhammad and Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, every time the word Muhammad was jar. Muhammadin, Muhammadin, Muhammadin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin, right? So it's always jar, right? And by the way, going back, jar can only happen for two reasons. Either it's after a harf of jar, or it's after a mudaf and it became a mudaf ilayh, right? So those are the two reasons. And then later on in that prayer, we substitute the word Muhammad with the word Ibrahim, and it's supposed to be jar too, just like the word Muhammad was, but we never say Ibrahimin because it's partly flexible. What do we say every time? Ibrahima. That's why we say Ibrahima every time. Okay, so that's flexibility. Then we talked about number. And in number, we were most concerned that when you look at a word, it could be singular, it could be two. If it's singular, it's un an in or uai. If it's pair, it's ani aini aini, or the light version ai. It could be masculine plural. Right? Sounds like a BMW M3, but could be masculine plural, which means una, ina, ina. It could be the feminine plural. That sounds like a race car too, an F3. Yeah.
Can you review the reasons for making a word light again?
Yeah, I could do that. You know what? Why don't you just all of you turn to what page is that, Jawad? There's a blank page where there's 4 reasons to make light. There it is. That's page 8. Can you guys open up page 8?
I like shawarmas. That was on the page.
I know. Yeah. There we go. What does it say on top?
There are only 4 reasons to make an ism to be, or for an ism to be light. Write them below.
Number 1. Any guess?
An ism. It has to be.
Why would a word be light?
Oh.
Good. This is my mouse handwriting.
He has better handwriting in like paper, guys. My handwriting's beautiful.
Second one?
It's
partly flexible.
Like Yusuf, remember?
Yeah. You can write in cursive?
A little bit. But like my index finger.
I can't. My teacher tried to teach me in like 3rd grade. She gave you this whole like everybody whole notebook. It didn't work out. They're my favorite.
I love cursive.
I like my normal handwriting.
Okay, partly flexible. Then the third one is when, wow, that's ugly. You call someone. Like, yeah, I gotta write it clearer. Waladu. I wish I had an eraser up there too. I gotta get it. When you call someone. We didn't do the 4th one yet.
Oh.
It's pretty cool though. The 4th one's.
You make it sound cool, but it's probably like.
No, it's actually really cool.
Oh.
Like really cool. Like first time I learned it, I was like.
It's like easy or like deep frying?
Oh, it's pretty easy.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty easy. But it's not time yet.
Okay.
Your Jedi training is still
young Padawans.
Yes, you're very, very young Padawans. Okay. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. In Arabic class, you mentioned something with Star Wars, which has shirk and kufr and bid'ah and haram and hellfire. And yes, I did.
It's
okay.
Like a movie or something.
Yeah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. You can just call the force waswasa. Okay, anyway, yes.
We're also getting a lot of questions about alif lam. Doesn't that make a word light?
No, it doesn't. Alif lam does not make a word light. That should be in your transcripts, but I'll come to that when we do common and proper. So we're still reviewing number right now, so yes. I'll come back to the alif lam issue, okay? Number. So we're in number, and the feminine plural is atun, atin, and atin. And then there's two other crazy things. I'm going to write it as HP and NHBP, which is human broken plural and non-human broken plural.
Yeah.
And what you should remember about that is human broken plurals can be treated like a she,
but don't have to be.
Don't have to be. Non-human broken plurals
Have to.
must be treated like a she. The only way you will know that you're looking at a human or non-human broken plural is if you know what the word means. So there are a few observations about the broken plurals. Let's just write them here because those are easily forgotten. Broken plural observations. Just some things you should remember. Number one, they have ending sounds. Number two, can't recognize without vocab, right?
Yeah.
And number three, the human ones can be she, and the non-human ones are always she. So those are some observations about. And what does it mean that they're she? We haven't seen that in action yet. I'm just giving you the concept, but you'll see it in action actually probably today when we're done with review. You'll see it in action. Okay. So that's just some broken plural because that's a tough concept. So it's good to have kind of a summarized, set of notes about it. And then there was one small item, plural, because the Arab said so. Qawm, nas, qarn. There's a few more words there, but qawm, nas, qarn is enough for you right now. Okay, so Arabs said so. You don't even have to say Arab said so. That's a waste of letters. Just say qawm, nas, qarn. You already know those are plural because the Arab said so. So just write that there. And that's everything you need to know about number.
Oh, we only had two?
Yeah. The BP things, instead of writing it as 1, 2, 3, you can probably just write them as ABC or just bullet points or something. That'll make the numbering less confusing. So that's your review of status and of number.
Yeah.
Our third item was gender. And in gender, we only study fake feminine. Because we don't study masculine, because whatever is not fake feminine is already masculine. We don't study real feminine, because you should know who your mom is already.
Yeah.
Okay? So it doesn't make any sense for me to teach you that mother is feminine.
Yeah.
Okay? So we only study what? Fake feminine. Fake feminine was many words, not all words. See careful language. Many words that end with this guy.
Oh, yeah. The hijab.
Hijab, the squiggly, and Superman with a dagger. Ta marbuta, alif mamduda, alif maqsura. Those words, many of them can be. Okay. I want to see what you.
I wrote fake and then I put ININ. So I said fake any.
Just wrote fake FEM, and that's good enough. Okay, fake
fine.
feminine. And number one,
Many.
then there is Arabs said so on page 12. Body parts in pairs. And broken plurals. Broken plural reminds me of something silly. Broken plural. One of my kids, I won't name her because she'll get embarrassed. When she was little, she couldn't say the letter L, right? And actually, when she was born, she looked like I kid you not, she looked like a certain North Korean dictator, right? So her hair was like spiky, and so I really just wanted her to learn to speak as if she has poor English and she has a very heavy Korean accent. With all due respect to Koreans. So and then funny enough, when came to the letter L, she couldn't say, she used to say prorar. So she was a broken prorar, right?
Yeah.
And so when she was little, when she was like 3 years old, I was obsessed with chocolate milk, right? And then she got obsessed with chocolate milk. But she used to say chocolate milk, like normal. But I really wanted her to say it like a weird way. So I used to say Chakadamare. Say Chakadamare. And so until she was like 7 years old, she'd speak normal English. But when it came to chocolate milk, she's like, oh, I really, really feel like getting a Chakadamare. She doesn't like that I did that to her later. Okay. Broken plurals. And we already took notes on that, so we don't have to repeat that here.
Yeah.
But broken plurals are part of this because the title is fake feminine. Why are they fake feminine? Because we're pretending they're a she.
Yeah.
Isn't that fake? They're not really a woman.
Yeah.
They're not one. They're many. But we're pretending that it's treated like a she. So that's why that's here. Okay. So that's all of gender.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is type. And type was we only study proper. And whatever isn't proper is common.
Common, yeah.
Okay. There were 7 items here. There were names, al in the beginning, pronouns, pointers or pronouns, pointers, Mosul we didn't really explain and we won't yet. Calling someone, and the mudaf is proper when mudaf ilay is proper. Those are the 7 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last one's long, 7.
I didn't know we learned about so much.
Yeah, we did.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that al issue that Jawad you brought up, right? Everybody's attention should be on page 6. So stop writing for a moment and go back to page 6. I want to show you something. This is something that we talked about and you forgot, and that's okay because your job is to forget, my job is to remind. That's what I said. Okay. So everybody should be paying attention to page 6 right now, okay? And on page 6, I'm going to put al on each word.
Okay.
Al-Muslimu,
Al-Muslimu.
al-Muslima, and then al-Muslimi.
Me.
Okay? So I took the tanween off. So somebody might say, a student might say, see, I told you it's light. Hold on, student. Hold on, student.
Hold your horses.
Yeah. Hold your donkey. You ain't got a horse yet. You didn't get that far yet. You still got a donkey, okay? So it's Muslimun becomes al-Muslimu.
Yeah.
But it sounds light. Hold on. Muslimani, I'm going to put al on it. Right now it's heavy, by the way. Let me remind you. Muslimani is heavy. How do I know it's heavy? All the words on page 6 are heavy.
Yeah.
Because they have there's 2 kinds of heavy ends. There's the un and in that makes it heavy, or this big old fat noon that makes a word heavy. The combination noon can also make a word heavy. But if I say al-Muslimani, that's perfectly good Arabic. Al-Muslimani. Did I make it light?
No.
No. So to say al makes a word light is haram.
Very haram.
Al does not make a word light. The rule is al doesn't like tanween, on, an, or in. It doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like them, whenever they show up, al says, you got to go.
Yeah. Kicking you out.
That's it. But there's no tanween here, so it had no problem with it. The concept of light is a big concept. It affects the singular column, the pair column, the plural column. The concept of not liking tanween is not the same as light. It just affects one column. Yeah. Or in fact, 2 columns, because in muslimatun at the end, here, muslimatun, if I put al here, then the un would have to go. Yeah. Then you would have to put u. Because al does not like tanween.
Okay.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that answers that question. So let's go back to our review writing.
So al only removes the extra n.
Extra tanween.
The
extra n from tanween, not all the other tanweens. Yeah. Not all the other noons.
Okay.
So muslimuna is still al-Muslimuna. It's still heavy.
Yeah.
But the real thing is we don't even care to say light or heavy when it comes to al. Okay. Now, so that was type. And then we were done with the properties of the ism. Then we looked at a word and tried to figure out the status, the number, the gender, and the
Type.
type. And we did that exercise over and over.
Okay,
Okay.
you bring with that next.
Sure.
Thank you.
You want fries with that?
Calling someone.
Jawad, while they're writing it down, folks have questions. They're free to ask.
Okay, somebody was asking about the noon for a mudaf. Can we say that a mudaf will never have that noon at the end?
The mudaf will never have an extra noon at the end. If it's got an extra noon, you are wrong for calling it a mudaf. That's correct. Other questions?
Someone's asking why Nuh alayhi salam is heavy.
Something I didn't teach you, even though it's in your notes. Well, might as well tell you now. It's a secret I've been keeping from you. You remember how I told you non-Arabs get to be partly flexible? They don't get to have un, an, or in.
Mm-hmm.
The Arabs said, you know how, like, think of it like immigration.
Yeah.
Right? So people live in America, but some people are not citizens.
Yeah.
If you're not citizen, sorry, you can't have a passport and you can't vote. Like, it's like saying you can't be heavy and you can't say the E sound. Ooh, ah, ah. Remember? Yusufu, Yusufa.
Yeah.
So we took two things away from you. We can't let you vote and we can't let you have a passport. Right?
Yeah.
So immigrants are like, but I want to vote. I want to have a passport. Let me apply for what?
A visa.
Citizenship.
Oh, citizenship.
If you become a citizen, then you can vote and you can also have a passport. So you used to be a foreigner, but then they allowed you to become a
Citizen.
or even though you're not from here, you weren't born here, you can now be treated as if you are one of us, right? The Arabs at a barbecue thousands of years ago came up with an idea. What if somebody wants to join us, like be treated like one of us? You got any ideas? Anyone? They're like, I got an idea. If their name is spelled with 3 letters, we should let them in. Okay?
That's like a Squidward.
So, yeah, I know. It's a good voice. I hold on to it. Okay, so if a word is spelled with what? 3 letters,
3 letters.
we should treat him like he's one of ours, even if he's not Arab. Okay, so here's what happened. Yusuf applied for citizenship. And they said, excuse me, you got way too many letters. How many letters has Yusuf got?
4.
No, sorry, you got to be Yusufu, Yusufa, and
Yusufa.
Yusufa. Okay? Sorry. Ibrahim applied. They're like, seriously? We lost you at Ibr because there's way too many letters.
Yeah.
Ibrahimu, and then what?
Ibrahima.
Ibrahima twice, yeah? Okay. Then Nuh applies.
You got 3 letters.
3 letters. They're
Come
like,
on in.
you know what? Yeah, okay. We'll treat you like Arab.
Mhm.
Only because what?
You got 3 letters.
You have 3 letters. Then Adam said, I'm older than Nuh. I should apply. Adamu. 3 letters, right?
Yeah.
No. Adamu, they denied the application. Adama and Adama. But Ustadh, you said 3 letters. No, hold on. How many alifs are here? Isn't this double alif?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Is it? Because if you say Adamu, that's 3 letters.
Yeah.
But if you say Adamu, that's like saying Adamu. It's double alif. How many letters is that?
That's 4.
That's 4 letters. That's why it doesn't apply.
Well, does the Hamza count with it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you write the mud like that, then you don't have to write the Hamza.
Okay.
Okay. So Adam is 4 letters, so he doesn't get it. So it's treated like Yusuf, Yusufu, Yusufa, Yusufa.
So where is Adam then created if he's not Arab? Because didn't they?
Well, think about it. Ahmed, if Adam alayhi salam was Arab, then all his kids would be what?
Arab.
Then we would also be Arab and we wouldn't have to have this class.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Adam alayhi salam is before the races.
Oh, yeah. So
He's the father of all the races.
Yeah.
So to call him Arab would be a mistake because then everybody else would have to be Arab.
Yeah.
You get it?
So he was born in Jannah, right? So
yes, he was created.
Oh, he was created
yes,
in Jannah?
and then put in Jannah. He wasn't created in Jannah. He was created outside of Jannah, and the Jannah was created for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So therefore, he's a Janni.
A Jannati.
A Jannati. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Try to create my own right there.
But you, I don't know. I don't think you attended story night for Adam alayhi salam.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You
because-
missed out because that's
his
when I told
birthday.
this whole story and why what we have to understand about Adam alayhi salam. He was actually created for two worlds.
Oh,
He was created for Jannah, and he was created for this world.
oh, okay.
Because when he was created from dirt,
Mm-hmm.
right? He
Yeah.
was created from dirt. Dirt belongs here.
Yeah.
Dirt is for here. And then I talked in detail about that in that story night. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that's the question about Nuh. Now you have a prophet named Lut.
Yeah.
Lut is not Arab.
But he got 3 letters.
He got 3 letters, so Lutun,
Lutan,
Lutan, and
Lutan.
Lutin. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why the word Nuh gets
Mm-hmm.
un and in, and Lut also gets un and
Un
in.
in.
Okay, Shu'aib also gets un and in. You know why? You're like, but it's 4 letters. Yeah, because he's Arab. They don't count letters for Arabs. They only count letters for who?
Non-Arab.
Non-Arabs. Salih is 4 letters, but he gets it because he's Arab. Yaqub, sorry, you're not Arab, so Yaqubu,
Yaquba.
Yaquba. Ustadh, how am I supposed to know who's Arab and who's not Arab? I already told you. There's only 4 Arab prophets.
Yeah.
The rest of them are non-Arab. Only 4. Hud,
Hud,
Salih,
Saleh,
Shu'aib, and Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's it. Everybody else is non-Arab.
So we only have 4.
Yeah, we only have 4 Arabs. Everybody else non-Arab. Allah sent prophets to every nation.
Yeah.
He didn't just send prophets to the Arabs. And most of the time, the Quran is talking about prophets that were not Arab.
Yeah.
Because it's a book for all humanity, right? So
Mhm.
it talks about all of them.
So that's like something a lot of people get wrong. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because one of my friends, he always thinks I'm Arab. He's like, "Be quiet, you Arab."
Yeah, I have some fun conversations with people like that.
It's the funniest thing.
Y'all got Jesus in the Quran? Yep. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah, we got a whole.
Y'all believe it? What? Y'all? Yep. Mm-hmm. Actually, a friend of mine recently found my lectures on Jesus in the Quran, and they're going through them now. They're like, I'll let you know what I think, because they're pretty involved in a church.
Mhm.
So like learned a lot about their faith,
Mhm.
and now they're like, really? You guys believe in Jesus? I was like, yeah, he's in the book. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So they're curious about that. Anyway, let's go back. We are Shoaib, before you guys done writing that down?
Yeah.
Okay. So then when our 4 properties were done, we moved on to the 5 fragments. And in the 5 fragments, the first fragment we did was mudaf and mudaf ilayh. A lot of you are from the Indian subcontinent, so there are people listening in from Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, etc. So if you are from South Asia, then you say muzaf and muzaf ilayh. Don't say that. Say mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Okay? Muzaf and muzaf ilayh moved to Muzaffarabad and they didn't come back. But mudaf and mudaf ilayh are still with us in Arabic class. Okay? And it's not muzaf ilahi. It's mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Okay? Mudaf with a D. Mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Okay? Now, mudaf and mudaf ilayh, what did you learn about them? Can you remind me some basic things about them?
Mudaf is it has no L. And
Okay, so the rules for mudaf are no al and
no, has to be light.
light. Okay, what's the definition? Mudaf is what?
Mudaf is
The word before of.
Yes, the ism before of.
Oh, yes.
Well, that sounds even more accurate than the word before of, because there's 3 kinds of words, right?
Mhm.
So it's the ism before of. Good. What's the rules for
For-
mudaf ilayh?
has one rule. It has to be jar.
Good. Has to just jar, just write jar. And what's the definition? Mudaf ilayh is what?
The word after of.
Is the ism
Oh, the ism, yeah.
after of. Can anything come in between them?
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
no long distance.
Good. There's one more thing. We practice it only a little bit. In the future, we'll practice it some more. When the mi mudaf ilayh is proper, then the mudaf is proper.
Oh, yeah.
we figured out 4 properties of them,
Mhm.
but I kept leaving the 4th property out. I kept saying,
Yeah.
oh well, we're not going to say it's proper or common. We're going to have to check with the mudaf ilayh. If the mudaf ilayh is proper, then we'll say the mudaf is proper. If the mudaf ilayh is common, then the mudaf is common. But the other properties like status, number, and gender, you can figure them out from a mudaf, right? So we did that. We're going to review that again. We'll come back to mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Okay, so that was when we did mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Then we did, so that was the first fragment. Yeah?
Yeah.
Our second fragment was harf of jar. There's not much to say about them. Immediately after, whatever ism comes becomes what? Jar.
Jar, yeah.
And together, what are they called? Jar.
Jar majroor.
Good job. Jar majroor. I almost said Yajuj Majuj, but okay, yeah. Jar majroor. Jar majroor. Very good.
Can you go back?
What are they?
Jar majroor is bata kaf
Good.
waw min fi an ala hatta ila. Nasab is in and can.
Oh, what?
Not in and can.
No, sorry.
What can you? How can you say that?
Oh, sorry.
What kind of? You realize what kind of trouble you're in?
It's in
No. No.
and in.
No.
What?
Try again.
In.
No.
And
No.
It's
You try.
Fataka.
No.
No, I'm trying to remember.
Harf nasab.
Half of nasab. Okay.
ana in.
Ana nahnu or no. I can't remember. I remember some of it.
Inna anna.
Yes.
Inna anna.
Oh my God.
Anna.
But-
Bi anna.
Inna
لقيت
anna
لكننا
kinna
لعل.
la'alla.
Thank you. That's a harf of what?
Nasab.
You just said ana nahnu.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I gotta tell you this story.
You got so many stories.
I have too many stories. But you're writing this down right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Joad, they're writing this down. Tell me if they have any questions. What is the ummah asking?
What's going on in the Ummah right now?
I think we're good to go for right now.
Really?
Mhm.
Just
It's
a
because
lot of requests to scroll up and make the font smaller.
Yep. You're doing it wrong.
Here, font is smaller. Scroll it up. Number 1 was mudaf ilayh. Number 2 is jar majroor, and you know them by heart. Bata kaf lam waw min fi an ala hatta ila. Some poor soul on the online asked, "Do I have to know the meanings of the jar majroor?" Not yet. Will you have to know them eventually? Yeah, when I tell you. Right now, I didn't tell you. All I told you is just say it like you mean it. Bata kaf lam waw min fi an ala hatta ila, or booklet min fi an ala hatta ila. Right? Okay. That's jar majroor. Third is harf of nasab. And its victim, whoever it beats up, it's called ismu inna.
Ismu inna.
Ismu inna, ismu anna, ismu ka'anna, ismu bi anna. Whatever word was there, ismu whatever. Right? So if I said bi anna Allah, ذلك بأن الله نزل الكتاب بالحق وإن الذين اختلفوا في الكتاب لفي شقاق بعيد. بأن Allah, don't write the Arabic down, but just look at it. بأن is a harf of nasab, right?
Yeah.
And the word Allah became nasab. So I'm going to say بأن, and then the word Allah would be ismu بأن.
Yeah.
So ismu, whatever word was here.
Okay.
Okay, so if this was lakinna, I'll replace it. Lakinna, that would be ismu lakinna. The word Allah would be ismu lakinna. That's how you call it. Okay. So we done did that, and we only have 2 more fragments left. 2 more fragments. That's how far we got. One thing I didn't review that's not part of this 1, 2, 3 is pronouns. Let's make a separate thing for pronouns, and that's not number 4. Okay, it's just kind of a side thing that you have to study. Pronouns. What are the originals? Say them.
Huwa, huma, hum.
You're gonna say one line. She'll say the next line. You'll come back to the third line. She'll do the fourth line. That's how you do it.
Okay.
Tag team. Come on, let's
Huwa,
go.
huma, hum.
Anta, antuma.
Allahu Akbar.
Is that it?
No.
Huwa, huma. What is
He
it?
said huwa huma hum.
Yeah.
Oh, huwa.
Huwa. I'll do this with you once
Okay.
Okay.
because you get brain freeze sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like you eat mental ice cream. Huwa huma hum. Hiya
Hiya,
huma hunna.
Okay, yeah.
Anta antuma antum. Ti antuma antunna.
Ana nahnu.
Switch turns. You go first.
Okay. Huwa, huma, hun.
Hun?
Oh, huwa, huma.
Hun that?
Huwa, huma, hum.
Yes.
My turn?
Yes.
Hiya, huma, hunna.
Anta, antuma, antunna.
Oh wow. Anta antuma.
Anta, antuma, antuma.
No, antum.
Anta, antuma, antun.
Antum.
Antum. Oh, I said okay. Antum.
Okay, start over from the very top.
Okay.
I need a flawless victory.
What was the first one?
Huwa.
Huwa, huma, hum.
Yeah, no, his turn.
Hiya, huma, hunna.
Anta, antuma, antum.
Good.
Anti, antuma, antunna.
Ana, nahnu.
Now switch.
Huwa, huma, hum.
Hiya, huma, hum.
Hiya huma hum too.
Oh, hiya, huma, hunna.
Good. Start over.
Huwa, huma, hum.
Hiya, huma, hunna.
Anta, antuma, antum.
Anti, antuma, antum. Antunna.
Start over.
Sorry.
Huwa, huma, hum.
Hiya, huma, hum.
Hunna.
Oh, hunna.
Yeah.
Hiya,
Now I know
hiya,
what it
huma,
feels like.
hunna. Okay,
Yes.
I remember now. Go.
Huwa, huma, hunna.
Oh no.
Huwa, huma, hum. Sorry.
Yes.
Hiya, huma, hunna.
Yes.
Anta, antuma, antum.
Anti, antuma, antunna.
Yes.
Banana.
Oh my God, that was beautiful. I feel so good. He's gonna say the original. You'll say the attached.
Okay.
I said the original.
Mm-hmm.
Huwa, huma.
What? You say one original. She
Yeah.
says one attached.
Huwa,
Who?
huma,
Is it who? Okay, who? Huma, huma,
huma.
huma.
Here. Oh, I go again. Oh,
You say
here.
No, you missed one. Start over.
Huwa,
Who?
huma,
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 huma.
Why you say homa twice?
Oh wait.
You said hua,
Hum,
homa,
hum,
homa.
hum.
That's
Oh.
what you said.
Huwa, huma, hum,
So the third one should be what?
hum.
Home.
Who or hum?
Yeah.
Who? Huwa. Huwa.
Second line.
Oh, here.
Yeah, he. Ha.
Which one?
Ha.
Start over.
Huwa,
Who?
huma,
Huma.
Good.
hum.
Hum.
Here.
Ha.
Huma,
Huma.
hunna,
Hunna.
anta,
Ka.
antuma,
Kuma.
antuma, antum,
And kum.
anti,
Ki.
antuma,
Kuma.
antunna,
Kunna.
Good.
Okay.
ana,
Wa or ya?
Ni or e?
Ni. Oh, ni or e?
nahnu.
Na.
Excellent. Number one. Independent
So much to write. I have so
pronouns.
New
New page.
yeah.
Go next page. It's okay.
much
Do this in the back of page 18. Because that's the page
Oh,
for
page
pronouns
18.
anyway.
Oh, I'm doing.
Oh, this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In the pronouns, always what? Rafa.
Rafa, yeah.
Okay. Number two. Attached, always what?
Attached, always to
Nasab or?
jar.
Nasab or jar. Okay, now. A. When attached to harf of jar, they are what? Take a guess.
When attached
half
to
of Jad.
half
Oh,
of
Jad.
Jar.
Jar. Yeah.
When attached to ism, when they're attached to an ism,
They become an ism.
they become mudaf ilayh.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they become jar because they are mudaf ilayh. We'll review that later on more. When attached to harf of nasab, take a guess.
Nasib.
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 Yep. Okay. So they're jar twice. Yeah, if they're attached to a harf of jar or they're attached to an ism, they're jar. And so far they're nasab once. When they're attached to a harf of nasab, they're nasab. That's your pronouns. And you should write in your notes, page 18 over here,
Okay.
just so you know where that came from. Okay. This is everything we've done so far. Okay. This is how far we've gone. We have about a little less than 2 hours to cover quite a few things. I don't think it should take that long though. So I'll take a few questions before and then give you a break, and then we'll start fresh and hit the new concepts.
Did you notice I haven't yawned at all today?
Yeah. What'd you do? Exercise in the morning?
No, I drank coffee.
You drink coffee, you old man. Okay.
He had a caramel mocha or
Mocha.
cookie, the mocha cookie crumble.
Jawad, we're waiting for your questions.
Okay. So for some of the harf of nasabs, like bi'anna, people are asking how we can have a harf of jar attached to a harf of nasab.
Think of it as one word for now. When I get you to an advanced level, then I'll break that down for you. Right now, you can't handle that. The concept of masdariya, which will come later on, much later on, will then make sense. Right now, all you do is you just think of it as one word. Don't think of it as two words. It doesn't help you. Go ahead.
A lot of questions on ism mawsul and ism ishara as well.
Okay, ism mawsul, don't worry about it. Ism ishara, we'll do today. And if you don't know what it means so far, that's okay. You're human. It's coming.
We're not robots.
Others?
There was a question about places.
Yeah.
So we talked about that
The three-letter thing?
proper names of places are partly flexible. So then
Correct.
how come in an example yesterday we had masjid with the kasra?
Oh, but masjid is not a proper name. It's just a name. Like a place to do sajda is called a masjid.
Oh,
But I mean, when I mean proper name, I mean like Bayyinah campus. I mean Dallas. I mean Fort Worth. I mean Mecca. I mean,
Medina.
Kuala Lumpur.
But he is not.
Yathrib.
Yes.
Yathrib, yeah.
We're not supposed to call it Yathrib, are we?
No, we say Al-Madinah now. Or Madinah Nabi. So generic words are fully flexible. Not any word for a place. Farm is fully flexible. Field is fully flexible. Masjid or school or house is fully flexible. But if I say, Seattle, Washington, then Seattle's not going to be fully flexible. It's going to be partly flexible because it's the name of a place. But if I said city or town, that'd be fully flexible. Okay. Other questions?
Yeah, sure.
Earlier we said that mudaf ilay has to be an ism.
Yes.
But now pronouns can also be mudaf ilay. How's that?
Very good question. Because pronouns are an ism. What's an ism? Go back to the basics. An ism is a person.
Place.
Isn't a pronoun a person?
Yeah.
He, she,
Yeah.
aren't they persons?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why couldn't they be ism? Pronouns are just one kind of ism. So they are still ism. We're still studying ism, guys. The only time we've ventured into harf is harf of jar or harf of nasab. Other than that, everything I've taught you is just isms. Good question, though.
When a
To
pronoun,
connect to the beginning. Go ahead. Yeah.
when a pronoun is attached to an ism, why is it jar?
When a pronoun is attached to an ism, why is it jar? Let's think about that. It's good that you asked, because it seems like, why though? Right? So let's walk through it. I did walk you through it a little bit yesterday, but it doesn't hurt to do it again. If I say, qamis. Qamis in Arabic is shirt.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's pretty cool that Muslims, we spread all over the world.
Yeah.
And one of the places we spread is Andalusia. And Andalusia is now modern day Spain.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
And Spain, of course, has had the Latin language and then Spanish, right? And Spanish is part of its history. And I'm also kind of a upper beginner student of Spanish, right? And in Spanish, the word for shirt is camiseta.
Camiseta. Oh, so like
Camiseta. So because of the hundreds of years of Muslim influence, a lot of Arabic words came into Spanish
Wow.
and became part of Spanish. So, like, you know how, what's the Arabic word for the?
Oh, hua.
No, the, T-H-E, the.
What?
Al.
Al. Oh, yeah.
Al. And in Spanish, you say el.
Oh, really?
Yep. El is for the.
So, like-
So anyway, but qamis is in the Quran. Qamis means shirt, like the shirt of Yusuf, alayhi salam, right? So if I say qamisuka, okay, qamisuka, that's the example I'm going to use. The word qamis means shirt. And it's an ism. Shirt is a thing.
Yeah.
And ism is a thing, right? So qamis is an ism. And it's light and it doesn't have al. When a word is light and it doesn't have al, you have a right to accuse it of being possibly a what?
Mudaf.
Yes, but the only way to prove that is to look at the next word and be able to prove that that next word is definitely jar. Well, the next word is ka. Ka from page 18 came from anta. Anta becomes ka. The attached version can only be nasab or jar.
So for this
Well,
instance,
nasab or jar, but we learned that if you have a mudaf
it could be. It has
and
to
the
be
next guy could be nasab or jar, then it
jar.
has to be jar. So the thing is, from this, what you get is every time you have an ism, this time it was qamis, next time it could be kitab, other time it could be deen, it could be whatever, rab, whatever ism. Whenever an ism happens and a pronoun happens, then it actually becomes a mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. And that makes total sense too, because a mudaf ilayhi, I defined it as something of something.
Yeah.
Right? So literally, shirt of yours, which in simple English would be what? Your shirt. Your shirt. So if I say Rabbi, let me, the haraka might be confusing in this font for some people. So let me change the font on this. There we go. Much better. Rabbi. Okay. It's two words. Rab and E. Rab and what? E. And I already said, if you have an Rab is an ism, and whenever you have an ism and a pronoun, they become mudaf ilayh. If they become mudaf ilayh, then the mudaf ilayh is always jar, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said when attached to an ism, it's always jar. And even in meaning, that makes sense, because Rabbi means my master, which is simple English, master of mine. So it's after of anyway. That's why it's jar. So I hope that answers your question about why a pronoun is jar when you attach it to an ism. Okay. So at this point, unless there are other, overbearing questions that you really need to get answered right now, I'm going to give you guys a good 10-minute break and then come back and really wrap up our study of ism, inshallah, as much as we can. Okay. Go enjoy your break. Jawad, you can continue to take questions.
You gonna lose in pool again?
We'll see about that.
Yeah. I love losing.
Actually, Ayman Mirza, I'll answer that question, Jawad, if you don't mind. So, Jawad, you asked, there's tum in the Quran that's used for you all. Yes, it is, but that's not an ism, and you haven't learned that yet. Ism is here. That one, you'll see. You'll see, actually, if things go on schedule, you'll see that tomorrow. So that question about tum will get answered tomorrow, inshallah. All right, I'm going to put this on mute.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name, but Allahumma is one word, or is this Allah with the huma pronoun? Now, Allahumma, this is a special way of calling out to Allah. So it's kind of like saying Ya Allah, but this is specific to Allah. So when you say Allahumma, it's like you're calling out to Allah. That's not a pronoun that's attached to an end, to the end of the word. I did see everybody's comments about a face reveal, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon, inshallah. Samin, what if an ism before the pronoun is with al? If you have a pronoun that's attached to the end of an ism, that ism will not have al. because a pronoun being attached to the end of an ism automatically makes that an idafa, and the mudaf cannot have al. So you'll never have that with an al. Why is Isa not an Arab word? Because Isa did not originate from Arabic. It came from another language. Um, and also for Isa and Musa, for those names, I saw a lot of questions about those. Isa and Musa, first of all, they are non-flexible. So even if they were 3 letters, they cannot be fully flexible. A non-flexible word cannot become fully flexible. Only partly flexible words have a chance to be fully flexible. But Isa and Musa are both 4-letter words, 4-letter names. And also, um, they are non-flexible. So those 2 things stop them from becoming fully flexible. Khadija, we've discussed 2 ways for a word to be nasab. One of them is if it's a detail, and the other one is if it comes after a harf of nasab. Imran, we in Surah Fatiha we have the word iyaka. That's not quite something that we've discussed yet. So when we get to that, then we can answer that question, inshallah. Right now, it'll just be a little bit confusing. Nisar, please explain long distance relationships. So when we talked about mudaf and mudaf ilay, and when we talked about the harf of jar and its victim, we said that the victim and the mudaf ilay always have to come right after the mudaf or the harf of jar. This isn't true for a harf of nasab though. If we have a harf of nasab, then we can have some words in between its victim. So we can have a harf of nasab, then we can have whole sentences before we get the ism of the harf of nasab. That's what we mean by long distance. So the ismu inna, for example, doesn't have to come right after inna. You can have something in between them. I hope that was clear. Aisha, the word nisa is feminine because women are feminine. Uh, Nisa. How come Lut does not have a sukoon on the waw in the Quran? A lot of times, depending on the script that you're using, if you see a letter that doesn't have anything on it in the Quran, then you have to assume that that letter has sukoon. If you see a letter that doesn't have anything on it, you have to assume that that letter has sukoon. So if you see that waw in Lut doesn't have anything, then you can assume it has sukoon. So the 3 out of the 4 reasons for making a word light that we've discussed so far, the first one is if a word is mudaf, it will always be light. If a word is partly flexible, not a word, but if an ism is mudaf, it will always be light. If an ism is partly flexible, it will always be light. And if an ism is being called, it will be light. All right, Huda, with regards to inna and ismu inna, why can't nahnu come after inna? So when we talked about the original pronouns, and nahnu is one of the original pronouns, we said that all of the original pronouns are rafa'. They're always rafa', and they will never be nasab, they will never be jar. But the word, the ismu inna, has to be nasab. So now we have a problem. Nahnu cannot be ismu inna because ismu inna needs to be nasab and nahnu is always rafa'. So this is where we get the attached version of nahnu, because the attached version of nahnu can be nasab and it can also be jar. So if we want to attach nahnu to inna, if we want to make nahnu ismu inna, we would have to use the attached version na. This is why we get inna or innana. Either of those are valid, but we can't get inna nahnu because nahnu is rafa'. I hope that was clear. Alina, that the ayah you're looking at in Surah Yasin, that word after hatta is not an ism, and we're only talking about isms right now. For those of you asking about subscription or bayyinahTV issues, please make sure that you are emailing the correct email. The correct email is contact@bayyinah.com, and please give them some time to get back to you because surely there are, thousands of people emailing them right now. So inshallah, try to be patient. Faiza, that's correct. Hum can be used for masculine and it can be used for masculine and feminine mixed. But if it's only feminine, then we're going to use hunna. Ismat, that is correct. Names of places with 3 letters can also be fully flexible, just like names can be. Nasiba, I'm not sure I understand the question. Can there be isms that have letters at the end that can be seen as attached pronouns? Yeah, I'm not quite sure I understand the question. If you can please clarify. Ariba, names of places, any proper name of a place will be partly flexible. That's the general rule. Any proper name of a place will be partly flexible. Maliha, that is correct. Pronouns are isms. Because when we talked about isms, We said isms are person, place, thing, idea, adjective, adverb, and more. The first one on that list was person, and pronouns represent people, right? When we say huwa, we're talking about he, and when we say hiya, we're talking about she, and so on. So pronouns are people, so pronouns are isms. Stranger kittens. An example of a pronoun becoming mudaf ilay is, there's one on the doc right now, Rabbi. I know it's kind of cut off at the bottom, but that ya at the end is the pronoun for I. So Rabb is the ism, and then the ya at the end is a pronoun, Rabbi, and that becomes in idafa. It means my master, or master of mine, and then a better way to say it is my master.
How's it going, Jawad?
It's going very well.
I overheard somebody ask about Allahumma, so I'm going to tell you guys some things about Allahumma before we go back to work. Bismillah salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. So the word in ancient Arabic, the meme at the end. Now, first of all, the pronoun is hum, which means they, and huma is both of them. Okay, there's no such thing as a humma. That doesn't exist in Arabic. Okay, now in the phrase Allahumma, right? Obviously, the word Allah is there. So the addition is not a hum, the addition is just a meme. So to think that this is a pronoun would be a mistake, because the ha actually belongs to the word Allah. And the only addition to in Allahumma is what? The meme. And the meme with a shadda. Now, in old Arabic, you used to say Ya Allah. Ya Allah, right? So the ya is used to call someone. Okay? But there's another way to call someone in some phrases, which is to put a meme with a shadda at the end. So they used to say something like halumma, which means come on. And notice what's at the end of the spelling of halumma? Meme with a shadda. And when you call on Allah, one way to call on Allah is Allah, and instead of ya in the beginning, a double meme at the end. Allahumma actually means Ya Allah, or calling on Allah. Oh Allah. So that's actually two different styles. And when people aren't as familiar with Arabic, they think, well, humma sounds like hum in the pronouns. Well, let's just go with that argument. Even if you said it sounds like hum, then the first word isn't Allah, it's just Allah. Without an H, but the ha is part of Allah's name, right? So I hope that makes it clear, so like, that can't be confused with a pronoun.
So like in the surah, I forgot what the surah was like. Allahumma nasta'inaka wa nastaghfiruka.
That's not a surah.
Oh wait, no, yeah.
That's qunut.
Yeah.
That's not a surah. Okay.
Oh
so,
yeah, it was
now, our new lesson. Just need you to pay attention. Don't need to write anything.
So there was one more question.
Go ahead.
So somebody was asking about in Surah Al-Fath, ayah 10. وَمَنْ أَوْفَى بِمَا عَاهَدَ عَلَيْهُ اللَّهَ فَسَيُؤْتِيهِ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. They were asking why in عَلَيْهُ the pronoun seems to be rafa' when we said they always have to be jar.
Oh my God, I thought it was going to be a completely different question because of alayhu. Okay. Since somebody asked, I'm going to explain this to you guys, okay?
Okay.
So, huwa is the original version?
Yes.
And the who or the he are the attached versions.
Yes.
I'm reminding the student, specifically the student who asked. Do you know their name? Know their name? If you find their name, let me know. Not that I'm going to punish them. But,
Zain bin Khalid.
Okay, Zain. Especially pay attention, Zain, but the rest of you will benefit from this a lot. Zain's question is invalid because Zain forgot something that many of you will forget many times. Zain said, why is it rafa when there's a ala before it, right? An attached pronoun by definition can only be nasab or jar. And it doesn't matter what sound it has because pronouns are crazy. We don't judge them by the sound. The fact that they are attached is enough for us to say that they are nasab or jar. Okay, so just to make that concept even clearer to you, Rabbahu or Rabbihi. The word Rabbu is rafa in this case.
Yeah.
The word Rabbi is jar in this case. but the attached pronoun didn't matter. Who or he, it was always jar.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that because of how it sounds. I got that because attached pronouns to an ism are always jar, right? So what happened with you, Zain, is that you looked at the who sound in alayhu and you thought that that's rafa. Attached pronouns cannot be determined by their sound. Attached pronouns are judged by the fact that they are attached. But now let's take it a step further. When we say salam to each other, we say assalamu alaykum. Let me tell you something about alaykum. Bata kaf lam waw min fi an ala. Whenever you take ala and you want to stick a pronoun at the end of it, it's no longer ala, it becomes alay. Okay? It used to be ala, but if you want to put a pronoun with it, it becomes alay. So we say, and because ala is a harf of jar, right? So you can't say antum because antum is the rafa version. What's the attached nasab jar version of antum?
Antum.
Good. That's why we say kum instead.
Oh, okay.
And it's attached, so it gets attached to the word alaykum. This would be called jar majroor. Alaykum would be jar majroor. The ayah you asked about was alayhu. The alay part would be jar and the hu part would be majroor. No grammar is broken. It's actually something else that's very special about this ayah, but it's not because of it being rafa. It's something else. But when we get a little more advanced, I'll teach you, inshallah. Okay. Can I start now, Jawad? We're good?
Yes, we're good.
Are we
Okay.
taking notes?
Not yet. I was writing Muslimun Salihun. Say this for me.
Muslimun salihun.
Okay. I'm going to walk you through 4 properties. Don't agree with me if you're confused.
Okay.
If you say, I didn't get that, that's a good thing. So you don't just have to say yes for the sake of saying yes.
Okay.
Muslimun is rafa' because of the un sound.
Yeah.
Salihun is also rafa' because of the un sound. Salih means good.
Yeah.
Okay. They both match in status. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Muslimun is masculine because there's no sign of feminine.
Yes.
Salihun is also masculine because there's no sign of feminine. Would you agree?
Yes.
Muslimun looks singular. Salihun also looks singular. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Muslimun doesn't have alif lam on it, so I'll say that it's common. Salihun doesn't have alif lam on it, so I'm going to say that it's common. What I'm saying is status matches, number matches, gender matches, and type matches. Yeah? All 4 properties match. When 4 properties match between 2 words, then the second word is an adjective for the first word. An adjective is what you use to describe another word.
Yeah.
Okay? In other words, if salih means good, I'm trying to describe the Muslim as a good Muslim.
Yeah.
In English, good comes first, Muslim comes second.
Yeah.
Unless you have an uncle that comes from another country and says Muslim good. But otherwise, in normal English, you say what? Good Muslim. But in Arabic, whenever you want to add an adjective, unlike English, in English, you add them first.
Yeah.
In Arabic, you always add them after. And the only way you will know, hey, this word is an adjective or describing this word, is that how many properties match? 4. So if I was describing Musliman, I would have to say Salihan. I would have to change the status.
So in order for it to match, it has to have everything the same.
Status, number, gender, type. Light and heavy, I don't care.
Okay.
Flexibility, I don't care. But status, number, gender, type. 4 main properties.
Yeah.
Better match. Okay?
Ustadh,
Yeah.
a lot of questions about how salih can be common if it's a proper name.
Yeah, salih. Okay, let me tell you how. Salih in Arabic means good. Or tayyib, for example. Tayyib also means good. Yeah? But you could have a cousin named Tayyib. When you talk about your cousin named Tayyib, it's proper.
Yeah.
But somebody says to you, hey, how's it going? And you said Tayyib, good. You use the word common. You didn't say proper because you weren't talking about your cousin.
Yeah.
When somebody asked you, how you doing? You said, my cousin. No, you just said the word Tayyib. The word Salih is the name of a prophet. But Salih on its own, like وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ in the Quran, فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. In those ayat, let them do good deeds. let them act righteously. The word salih just means what? Good. Sometimes the word salih in the Quran is talking about the Prophet Salih. Other times in the Quran, the word is talking about just the word good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to have the sense to know the difference between those two. I'll give you another example of that. That's a good question. Bushra. Bushra in Arabic means good news. Right? Bushra means what?
Good news.
Good news. But you could have a cousin named Bushra.
You could.
You could, it's possible. And she may not even be good news. Right? But I'm saying
Yeah.
that Bushra is common. It just means good news. But if you're talking about your cousin, here comes trouble, then it's proper.
Oh,
Does that answer that question?
Yeah.
Jawad, hopefully you get a response from a good student, a salih student.
Salih.
Let me take another word. Like, let's just say
Salih.
talibun, a student, muslimun, a Muslim student.
Yeah.
Talibun, Muslimun, both rafa,
Yes.
both
yes.
common, both masculine, everything matches,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So if I say talibatin, I made two changes. I made it feminine, put a hijab on it, so it's a Muslim, a student, a female student, and it's jar. If I wanted to describe it as a Muslim female student, I would say muslimatin, talibatin, muslimatin. Whatever I do to the first, I gotta do to the second. Okay, so if I said talibatun, students, female students, it would have to be muslimatun. If I made this one proper and I said at-talibatu, then I would have to say al-muslimatu. Whatever I do to the first one, I do to the second one. Okay, and when I find that all four properties, that's why I learned the four properties.
Yeah.
The one place four properties really helped me was to figure out the mudaf and the mudaf ilayh.
Yeah.
This is not mudaf ilayh. This is not an oven between these two words. This is second word describing the first word, the Muslim female students. That's what this means.
Okay.
The Muslim female students. Okay. Mu'min means believer or believing,
Yeah.
and abd means slave. What does al-abdul mu'minu mean?
Muslim slave.
The believing slave.
Oh, okay.
The believing
Slave.
slave. I know that because they both are proper. Al, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both singular. They're both masculine. No sign of feminine.
Yeah.
And they're both rafa. They're both they match.
Yeah.
If one of them was off, if I said al-abdul mu'mina, it's some other Arabic, I don't know, but it's not an adjective.
Okay.
It can't be an adjective. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, kitabun.
Book.
Okay. This is a part of an ayah of the Quran. Kitab means book.
Yes.
Okay. Let's write down its four properties. The four properties of kitab. What's the status of it?
Status, it is
Good.
Rafa,
It's
yeah.
rafa. Very good. How many is it?
1.
Good. Is there any sign of feminine?
No.
No.
So it's
Masculine. Is it common or proper?
Common.
Good. Because there's no al.
Yeah.
Now we know four properties of what word?
Kitab.
Kitab. I'm going to make this red and that red so you guys can connect these two things together. And I'm doing an exercise to find an adjective.
Yeah.
How do you find an adjective? It matches how many properties?
4.
All four.
Yeah.
Okay. I go to the word min. Min is not even an ism. Min is a harf of?
Jar.
It
Or
ain't-
nasib.
No, not a harf of nasab. Go through the list. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wow.
Min. Oh, so it's
Harf
jar.
of jar. Therefore, it can't be an adjective because an adjective has to be an ism. A harf doesn't have four properties.
Yeah.
How am I going to match it to anything? Min beat up on the word indi and made it jar. So this became the jar and this became the
Majroor.
majroor. Indi itself is light and no al.
Yeah.
Light and no
No.
al. And the word Allah is jar after it.
Yeah.
Which means that indillahi is actually a mudaf and a
Mudaf
mudaf
ilayh.
ilayh. Good. Now let's think about the word musaddiqun. What are the 4 properties of musaddiqun?
It's rafa.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Prove it.
Qun is like on.
Good.
And on comes
Yeah.
from rafa.
Good. Rafa.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
one.
it's singular.
It's 1. Good.
It's
There's
masculine.
no sign for it to be feminine. so-
Isn't there qa? Qa is feminine, no?
No,
No.
Oh, okay.
it's masculine, and then
It's common.
Common because it has. No
Does it
alpha.
match with kitab?
Yes.
But
Oh.
it's like so far away. It's
But
like
they're fine with the long
doesn't
distance.
matter.
because now listen carefully. A harf of jar,
Mm-hmm.
a jar majroor,
Yeah.
they have to be next to each other.
Yeah.
A mudaf ilayh
Mm-hmm.
have to be next to each other. Inna and the one he beats up can be far away.
Oh, okay.
Remember the ayah we did? Inna and then ayatin all the way at
Yeah.
the end?
Super far.
So they can have a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
And a noun and adjective
Mhm.
can also have a long distance relationship sometimes. Okay?
Mhm.
So kitabun, musaddiqun. They can be far apart.
Okay. Long distance.
Yep. They can be long distance. But how did I know? How did I know to match it? I knew how to match it because all 4 properties
Match.
matched up. Okay? Now, فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do these 2. Let's do one at a time, actually. There's too much Arabic on the screen. Sururun means beds.
But okay.
Okay? Beds.
Mhm.
Now, I want to figure out 4 properties of sururun.
Okay.
What's the status?
The status is rafa
Excellent.
because
Excellent.
of the un.
Good.
And then
One.
it's one.
Well,
It's
I don't
one.
know.
I mean, it is one.
Oh, beds.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh.
I read it.
Yes.
Figured it out.
Yes. Oh, there's no cover. I can't flip it.
I'm sorry.
It's so like underwhelming. Beds.
So
it's plural.
no.
Wow.
Oh, no,
A long time ago.
Pair. It's pair.
Wait. Hold on. Easy, tiger. If it was pair,
Mhm.
you would see ani or
Aini.
aini. Do you see ani or aini?
No.
No.
A long time ago, when we were much younger, I told you that there are different kinds of plurals.
Yes.
There is masculine plural, una ina. There's feminine plural, atun atin.
Atin.
There's plural because the Arab said so, qaum nas qalu. And there is broken plural. If there's a plural that has an ending sound,
Yeah.
but you know it's plural,
Yeah.
and this time you know it's plural because of what?
Beds.
The meaning.
Yeah.
The meaning.
Yeah.
Then it's gotta be a what kind of plural?
Broken.
Broken plural. And if it's a broken plural,
Mm-hmm.
then you have to decide whether it's one of 2 things.
It is masculine.
Mm-mm.
Oh wait, no.
What kind of broken plurals are there? There's 2 kinds of broken plurals.
There is. Oh, there's a human and non-human.
Oh,
Yes.
oh.
Human and non-human.
Yeah.
Are beds human or
They're
non-human?
Non-human.
Thank you. When beds are non-human broken plurals, what do the Arabs like to pretend?
It's feminine.
How many feminine?
One.
One feminine.
I'm going to say 1
One fem.
feminine. And why? Because it's a BP. Because it's a broken plural.
Yeah.
Is it common or proper?
It is
Common.
Good.
common,
Why?
yeah.
Because
Because
does
it's
it have al?
Okay. You say fiha sururun.
marfu'atun.
Give me 4 properties.
Marfu'atun
It's
rafa.
rafa.
It's rafa.
Then this is from the masculine. So
Is it from the masculine? The hijab is from the masculine? I didn't know that.
wait, no, the hijab is
It's
from
feminine.
feminine.
Yeah, it's from the one feminine call.
Yeah.
Yeah, one feminine.
One feminine.
One feminine. And is it common or proper?
This is common.
Yeah. But it's feminine because of the hijab.
Yeah.
So if it has the
Okay.
hijab,
So
then
now
it's feminine.
let's go back. Yeah. Let's go back. You said sururun is one rafa, one feminine common.
Yeah.
You said marfu'atun is rafa, one feminine common.
Yes.
The properties match.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this one was feminine because it's a broken plural.
Yeah.
This one is feminine because it's got a round ta.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't care. They match.
Yeah.
How you get there, I don't care.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, this is R1 FC, and this one is also R1 FC. And when 2 properties match like that,
Mhm.
then you know what happens? This one becomes an adjective of this one.
Yeah.
Marfu'atun is raised. Raised.
Beds raised.
Well,
Raised
when you
beds.
raised beds, the adjective is translated first. Raised beds, elevated beds. Allah is saying that in heaven, in Jannah, we're going to get pretty thick mattresses.
Thick mattresses.
Yeah, you got to climb up on them and like bounce off and stuff.
What if you have like super jumping, like, cause like I already,
You will have super jumping, I'm pretty sure.
it's like I've already imagined it. Like I've already have like a bucket list for what I want in Jannah. Like I want to have Wolverine's powers. I want to have Flash's powers. I want to have like a sick tree house.
A sick tree house.
Yeah. Like,
The
I
problem
want
with a tree house with Wolverine's powers is you probably end up
No, but like I just like use it to climb.
and you'll damage the wood.
Yeah.
But it's Jannah, so it'll regenerate.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. I got you.
yeah.
I got you. Okay. Wolverine. It just looks like a fork. Okay, anyway. So,
You know what I noticed?
what did you notice?
R1, if you put a can in front of it, it spells KFC. They have halal chicken, so
Okay, I'm okay. Now I know what's on your mind. Kafir fried chicken. Okay. Akwabun. Let's go further. Akwabun mawdu'atun. Mawdu'atun. Okay. Now, akwabun, let's do one word at a time again. Akwabun actually means cups.
Yeah.
Cups.
yeah.
I gotta tell you a story about this. Because there's a place in the Quran, Allah says, I'll come back to cups. Because, in class, I really want to teach you some things about Quran too.
Yeah.
Right? Allah says, إِنَّ الْأَبْرَارَ يَشْرَبُونَ مِنْ كَأْسٍ. Min ka'sin. Okay? And then he says, in the same surah, he says, يُسْقَوْنَ فِيهَا كَأْسًا.
Yeah.
And then he says, وَسَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ شَرَابًا طَهُورًا. Let me tell you what this all means. If you ever, before all this COVID stuff, if you ever threw a barbecue or party, right? You invite people over. You set up the table in the back. Somebody's running the barbecue. You get the table cover. You get the paper cups because it's going to be messy all over the place, right? So you get paper cups, and you get napkins, and you get different kinds of drinks, like sodas or whatever, right? Juices. And when people are thirsty, what do?
Get a drink.
They go and get themselves a drink. They know where the drinks are, right? That's a regular party where people can help themselves and go get a drink, right? Because if you invite a lot of people, then you can't possibly go around giving everybody a drink.
Yeah.
You just set it up so they can go help themselves, right? And they can come back for seconds and things like that, right? Allah describes in this surah, in 3 different ayat, something about drinks in heaven, in Jannah. He says, in the beginning, يَشْرَبُونَ مِنْ كَأْسٍ, they will drink out of cups. Which kind of sounds like they'll go get themselves a drink. Like we're in this Jannah party, we got these like super couches and stuff, and there's this like fountain of whatever juice coming out of there, and so you go and kind of, I want to try that one. I'll be right back. And you go, and so you go try different kinds of drinks.
Yeah.
Kind of like self-service, right? A little bit later on in the surah, Allah says, they will be given drinks in cups. Now they're not going and getting drinks. What's happening?
They're getting cups.
They're
being served.
So it's like if you go to like a banquet or something, or you got invited to a walima, or like a aqiqah, like some nice fancy place, right?
Yeah.
And they've got those round tables with the tablecloth on it and the cups, upside down cups.
Yeah.
And you got guys dressed like penguins running around, right? They got the tuxedo thing on.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
more water, sir.
Oh,
and you drink the juice or whatever you drink, and the guy comes and he pours it again. You're like, I think I'm supposed to finish it again. You drink it again, he pours it again, right? You don't even have to get up to get drinks. And in fact, if you even want to drink, you're like, could I just, right here, right? And in even even fancier places, you've got these guys. You probably only see them in movies and stuff, or like, because you don't watch any movies, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But you got these like guys with trays, and they're walking around. People just take the things out of their hand.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
I can't even make my hand that straight. I would not be good at that job.
Yeah.
I would be just like. Anyway, but that's the idea where it's not like the barbecue in your backyard where you had to go get the drink yourself. Now you got butlers and servers and whatever coming around and handing people drinks. Like, this is fancy. Wow. Well, I don't mind if I do, you know? So what happens in the ayah is they get upgraded. I'm reminded of this because, you know, in one time, it's actually really happened to me when I was in New York. I was reciting a surah, I was memorizing, and I had my mushaf with me. And I was in an elevator, and the guy next to me realized that I'm Muslim, right? It was in an elevator, it's a tall building. So we're the only two. He goes, "What do y'all get in heaven anyway?" He didn't say y'all, this was New York. He goes, "What do you get in heaven anyway?" And I have a few seconds to talk to him because ding, the elevator's going to open. I'm going to leave, right? So I said, "Drinks." And then I left. Because I was thinking about this ayah.
Yeah.
The first level is like, early level of Jannah is like you see these amazing fountains and drinks and you go and you grab whatever juice you can. You're like, this is great.
Yeah.
It's even halal to drink with my left hand. It's okay now. But then you get upgraded in a higher level in Jannah. And what's happening? People are serving you drinks. You got like these, you know, wildanun mukhalladun, Quran describes these young servants that are running around serving drinks, right? How much better can it get? I mean, that's pretty upgraded.
Yeah.
Then comes the third part in the same surah, Surah Al-Insan. He says, وَسَقَاهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ شَرَابًا طَهُورًا. Their master will give them drink. Whew. Allah himself will serve drink. Allah will give drink to his believers. That's an upgrade not available in this world.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So even something like drinks becomes incredible in Jannah because of who's giving it to you.
Yeah.
You know? And so now the ayah I was sharing with you was وَأَكْوَابٌ مَوْضُوعَةٌ وَأَكْوَابٌ مَوْضُوعَةٌ. And akwab is another word for big cups.
Like gallon cups?
Not gallon cups, like I mean, the ancient times, it's called them goblets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right? But cups, it's a broken plural.
Yeah.
Now let's try to figure out the four properties of cups. Akwabun, that's the word akwabun. I'll color it black.
It's rafa.
Good, you got one.
It is.
I'll remove the wa. Okay, so it's rafa.
It would be, I think, it's
a broken plural, remember?
Yeah.
Is it human or non?
Non-human.
So you just go with one F.
Oh, yeah, one feminine.
If you see a non-human broken plural, just go with one F.
One F,
And then common or proper?
Common.
Yep. Now let's see if this is a match. Is mawdu'atun also rafa?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it also one feminine? Yeah, because it's got a hijab. Hijab means one feminine. Yeah. It's also common. You know what happened? A broken plural. This was a broken plural.
Yeah.
And in the Quran's Arabic, to describe this broken plural, a singular feminine was used. A she version of a word was used. So the broken plural was treated as if it is a she. This would be the word to describe a female. But this was being used to describe this broken plural. That's what I meant when I said broken plurals can be treated like a she or must be treated like a she. So the adjective, because the whole thing about nouns and adjectives is you got to match four properties. That's our whole goal. Sometimes it's very obvious. Other times you have to sit and kind of really figure it out. Okay. So this is our study of nouns and adjectives. You're not writing this yet. I just want you to think through this, okay? Number one. Nouns first, adjectives second.
Yeah.
In English, it's flipped.
Yeah.
Right? All how many properties must match?
4.
All four properties match.
Yeah.
can have distance, or no, can or can't?
Yes.
Yeah, can have distance. And finally, there can be multiple adjectives possible. In other words, I can say, think about it in English, I can say an ugly green car. How many ways did I describe the car?
Two.
Ugly and green,
Green.
Yeah.
right? So you can have more than one adjective. You know what that means? You can have 10 words, all those words keep matching. That means all of them are what?
Adjective.
Adjectives. This is gonna hurt your brain, but it's gonna feel really good
Yes.
by the time we're done. Okay? Watch this. You are now ready for your first ayah of the Quran.
Okay.
First complete ayah of the Quran.
Okay. Let me make a quick one.
Do it. All of you do it. That ayah is going to be Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Okay.
Okay? First of all, I'd like to color it so that you see that there are different words here. I'll color all the screen. Okay. B is what kind of word from what we studied in the last few days?
Oh, that's a harf of jar.
Okay. B, I'll go back to black. B is a harf of jar. New page, write this down. And just write the English. B is a harf of jar.
A completely new page?
Yeah.
Okay.
If B is the jar, what's the majroor?
Bismillah.
Oh, Bismillah. Bismillah.
The ismi.
No, Ismi.
The ismi part is the alif gets not written. It's a thing. Well, when I teach you one day, Imam Fakhruddin al-Razi wrote pages on why there's no alif in the word ism in Bismillah. Right? It's a beautiful thing. But we'll read that one day. But for now, ismi, I'll call it ismi,
Okay.
is the majroor. What's the jar? The B.
Yeah.
What's the majroor?
Ismi.
The ismi. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Because the ismi became jar because of it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I'm going to write ismi again. Look at ismi carefully. Does it meet my conditions for a mudaf?
No L and light. Yeah.
Whenever you see light, you should ask yourself that question. Okay?
Oh, yeah, because it could have double meaning, right?
Yep. Now, don't write this yet, but I'm going to write it. Mudaf. But I'm going to put a question mark.
Okay.
I don't know yet because you can never tell if an ismi is going to be mudaf until you find a what?
Majur or not majur, mudaf ilayh.
Mudaf ilayh. So the next word is the word Allahi. Right?
Yeah.
Is the word Allahi a mudaf ilayh?
Yes, because it's jar.
It is jar. So I'm going to say the word Allahi is a mudaf ilayh. So I'll take the question mark off. This is mudaf. And this is mudaf ilayh. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you know what's happened so far? B was connected to ismi,
Yes.
jar majroor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ismi was connected to the word Allah, mudaf and
Mudaf ilayh.
mudaf ilayh. Okay. So far, so good. So far, makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's look at the word Allahi. Let's look at the word Allahi again. So we look at each one twice, yeah?
Yeah.
4 properties of the word Allah. Can you write them for me?
Yes.
Do them without my help.
Okay, the word Allah.
No, don't say it. Discuss with each other. Take a minute.
Okay.
All of you do it.
Can you
4
bring up
properties of the word Allahi.
Can you bring it up?
Sure, I can.
Okay, thank you. So Bismillahi, it's jar. We already know that.
Jar.
It's there's no so it's
What
mas-
properties am I looking for? Remind yourself.
status, number, gender, and type.
Good.
So we already
Once
have,
you answer one,
Yeah.
write it. Then answer the next one, write it. Follow the
Yeah.
steps, yeah?
Okay, so jar. We already know the word Allah is masculine. So
Why did you go to gender first? What's the
Oh.
order? Status what?
Number, but so
No.
this is one.
Okay.
Because Allah, He is only one. So, and then it's masculine. So we have
Is it common?
we have status, number, gender. Now we need type. What type is it? I forgot. So type.
Allah نام یک چیز هستنی نام خداوند داری.
Yeah. So this is proper.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. What do you get?
Jar, one masculine proper. Yeah.
Brilliant. That is correct. Excellent job, both of you. Jar, one masculine and proper.
Okay.
Excellent job. What's the next word?
Bismillah.
Ar-Rahmani. Right?
Yes.
You can spell it in English. I don't care. I want 4 properties of Ar-Rahmani.
Okay.
Okay. Ar-Rahmani.
Ar-Rahman.
Yan jar هستنی.
Can you? Sorry.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
I feel like a flight attendant. Can you move up a little bit, please? I need to put my suitcase.
Ar-Rahmani.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Ar-Rahman.
Oh, can I get those hot towels? No, those are for business class. But can't the peasant class get it? No. Can you give me a cold one when somebody's done? No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Ar-Rahmani is like E, so that's jar. So
Okay.
کسی بخونی شده بخو سیک خوب سی بخونیش.
Ar-Rahmani.
That's what I said last Thursday, but nobody listened.
هیکو چی داره؟ هیکو.
Al-Dara.
Yes.
So too much it was.
Massive. Yeah.
No, okay. If it has it has Al on it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it has Al. No.
What's the order? What's the order?
Word
Status?
status number.
Did you figure out status?
Yes.
It's jar.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
The number.
Number.
Is it one of Allah's names?
Oh yeah, it is.
So what's the
Ar-Rahman.
number?
This is one.
Yeah.
One masculine.
Good.
And if it's this is proper
Why?
Because of Al.
because
Good.
of you know,
دیدی من کمک کردم میدونم
Yeah.
کردی.
I would have missed it because of the Al.
Al-Rahimi.
خو یوم jar. یعنی.
So Al-Rahimi. So
Al.
Al-Rahimi. This becomes this is Jar. We already know this.
یک تا خود نام خداوند است.
That's what I said.
But masculine and then
Masculine. Yeah, proper. Because of the Al.
Jar one masculine proper?
Yeah.
I agree. Jar one masculine proper. What do you notice about the word Allah, the word Ar-Rahman, and the word Ar-Rahim?
They all match.
They all match.
What did we learn today? We
That-
learned if you find properties matching, then the first word is the noun.
Noun.
The
And
other ones
the
are adjectives.
adjectives.
Right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put in parentheses noun,
Noun. Allah
and
is
then
noun.
I'm going to put adjective 1 here and adjective 2 here. And I'll make it smaller so you guys can see. I didn't figure this out. You guys did. I didn't tell you. I just prompted you,
Yeah.
but you guys did this.
Oh, okay, fine.
Because you can have more than one adjective,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have wait, how many? We have adjective 1, 2, and 3.
No,
No.
we only two.
The first one's going to be the noun.
Yeah.
Allah, he is the noun, and then
So Allah is the one being described.
Yeah.
How is he being described? With Ar-Rahmani and
Ar-Rahimi.
You
Allah-
put the
oh,
gauge,
no.
You put it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
goes right there. The last three.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's not good.
I don't know what they're saying.
She said you're welcome, and I said thank you.
Oh, you're so polite to each other. Well, I used to fight with my sister.
No, we fight at home too.
Oh, like fight?
Like wrestle.
Oh. Ooh.
She thinks she can take me, but I have to let her win. Adjective.
I had some good fights with my sister. She always won.
She did.
I never won. I won. I thought I won once. Nope.
Is she older than you?
She passed away
that.
last year. But yeah, she was older than me, a year older.
Mm.
We fought hard.
Yeah.
Well, not when we were older, when we were kids.
Yeah.
We
No,
used to like full on.
The last
wrestle,
fight,
like,
the last
when we were
fight she
little.
won
Mhm.
was with an uppercut.
Really?
It was like a Street Fighter straight Ryu Hole. You can like it
I
was.
kicked him in the face when.
You You wanna know
Even
how?
better.
You wanna see
He
one of my
started
tricks?
crying.
I
It's
was
so
in cry.
I would too. My world was spinning, literally.
No, it's
Okay.
Not even,
Anyway.
my tooth went backwards.
No,
Holy Allah. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. B is a harf of jar. B is connected to ismi because a harf of jar makes the next word jar.
Yeah.
You guys wrote that down?
Yes.
Did it make sense to you?
Yeah.
So that would be a jar majroor.
Yes.
Ismi is a mudaf.
Mhm.
Ismi means name.
Right.
Name, yeah? Ismi is a mudaf because it's like no alif lam followed by jar.
Mhm.
So the word Allahi becomes the mudaf ilay. Which if the word be means with
Mhm.
or by
Yeah.
or in, then is the mudaf and mudaf ilayh have what in between them? Of,
Yeah.
right? In the name of
Of
Allah. In the name of Allah. Okay?
Mhm.
The we is in, and then the ismillah, name of Allah.
Allah.
So it becomes in the name of Allah. Now, some of you might have a question, where did the come from?
Mhm.
Just know one thing for now. The word the will be normally used in English for a mudaf. Anyway, that's normal in English, even though you don't see al here in Arabic. Okay? So when we translate it, it's going to be in the name of Allah. Okay. Ar-Rahman means the extremely loving and caring.
Mhm.
The extremely loving and caring. And Ar-Rahim means the always loving and caring.
They always loving and caring.
Okay? So, and the extremely loving and caring and the always loving and caring matched with the word
Yeah.
Allah, right? Which means they are adjectives of the word Allah, which means it's okay for you to even, because in English you can say the adjectives before.
Mhm.
So you can translate this as in the name of the extremely loving and caring,
Mhm.
the always loving and caring Allah.
Yeah.
And you translated an entire ayah and understood all of its grammar on day 7. That's our first ayah of Quran. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now think about this. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is not a sentence. If I said, think about this. If I said, in the house, is that a whole sentence?
No.
No. If I said, in Allah's name, is that a sentence?
No.
No. But if I said, in Allah's name, I read,
That's
that's a sentence. If I said, in Allah's name, I learn, would that be a sentence?
Yes.
In Allah's name, I pray. In Allah's name, I wash. In Allah's name, I stand. In Allah's name, I drive. In Allah's name, I drink.
Yeah.
That would be a sentence?
Yeah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is not a sentence.
Yeah.
It's only one part of the sentence. So if I said Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and then I clicked, right? Then this, my click, was the remainder of that sentence. You know what we learned from that? Everything I do in life is incomplete
Without Allah.
without Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's like what I do is the later part of the sentence, and Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is the beginning of that sentence. It's as if somebody forgot to use, it's as if somebody is saying a sentence and they forgot the first part of it. My actions are completed only by the opening Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You have to complete Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim with whatever you do. And now think about what you're saying when you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You're saying that Allah loves me and cares for me more than I can ever imagine. And Allah will continue to love me and care for me always. And then you do something. What are your thoughts about Allah when you do something, when you just say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim? Right? And He put that in the beginning of every surah except Surah At-Tawbah, which I'll teach you about one day. Right? But why is this in the beginning of every surah? What is Allah telling you and me before you read any surah? Before you read, I need you to know
I love you.
that I love you and I'll always love you. And I told you these words out of love. I taught you this because I love you so much.
Yeah.
That's Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Such a powerful.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Every surah. Now you read every surah and the first thing you think about is Allah would never have told me this if He didn't what?
Love me.
If He didn't love me. He would have never told me this if He wasn't ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And He made me remember that before I even said it. And guess what? Even before Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, we're supposed to say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. You know why? Because shaitan wants you to believe that Allah doesn't love you. Shaitan wants you to believe other things about Allah. He's fine. Oh, Allah is the creator. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Allah is the creator. I believe that too. Allah is wise. Sure, yeah. Allah gives guidance. Sure, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Shaitan's like, congratulations. You believe Allah is one. He's the guide. He provides. That's great. But you know what he wants to take away from you?
That he doesn't love you.
That he doesn't love you because he feels that Allah doesn't love him. Yeah. He feels like Allah is unfair to him. Allah hates him. Right? Mm-hmm. He felt that when he refused to do sajda. Yeah. So he wants all of us to feel that. That's what he wants. So before he messes up our relationship with Allah, we first get rid of him and we say what? Then we remind ourselves, you're never going to get us. We're never going to think of Allah differently. And how will we always do that? By saying what? Bismillah. And then we read the Quran. And I'm so happy that you get to do this. I remember the day I got to do this. It was 1999. It was 1999.
That was before I was
21 years ago. I was in a class sitting in New York in a masjid on the 3rd floor. Wow. It was one of those backyard tables, those fold-out tables. Yeah. In a class. It was 7:45 p.m. or so. It was almost Maghrib time. And our teacher said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And he said, Ba is a harf of jar. And Ismi is the majroor. And Ismi is the mudaf. And the word Allah is the mudaf ilayh. And the word Allah, and he actually had me come up on the board. Because we had a board back then, right? This is the ancient times of, because I came on my donkey to the masjid and then we so he made me come up on the board and say, okay, what's this? Yeah. And we broke it all down. And then we went to Maghrib prayer, right? Mm-hmm. And I bawled in tears because this was my first ayah. Like, this is an ayah. I knew the grammar of it, even if I knew a little bit of grammar of it. Mm-hmm. Now I didn't need a translation for this ayah. And I knew why the word Allahi has an E in it. I knew why the B has a B in it. I know why the word Ismi is light and doesn't have Al. Yeah. I knew why Ar-Rahmani and Ar-Rahimi have E and E in them. I knew why they both have Al on them. How do they match? How do they connect? And that, I just learned something about Allah's words without a translation, right? This is, Allah says about the ayat of the Quran, Huwa khayrum mimma yajma'un. It is better than everything else people collect. I like action figures, right? Astaghfirullah.
Astaghfirullah al-azim.
I like action figures. People like video games. People like toys. People like books. You can collect things. Mm-hmm. No one will ever collect anything better than the ayat of the Quran in their heart. That's what he says. فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا وَخَيْرٌ مِمَّا يَجْمَعُونَ. They should be happy because of this. It's better than anything else they can collect. That's what Allah says himself, right? So I'm really happy for you guys that we got here, but we're not done. Mm-hmm. We got a little bit more to do. That was our first ayah. Yeah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now, another ayah.
Ustadh?
Yeah.
So we have three main questions here. Mm-hmm. The first one is a lot of confusion on why Rahmani has the Ani ending.
Okay, good. Just like my name, Nouman. Doesn't mean there's two noms. The An, if Ani was a combination, it wouldn't be written like that. It would be written like with an alif. Also, if you wanted to make it a pair, it would be Ar-Rahmanani. It would be like this. So it's just part of the name. Okay, like Quran. Quran has an. You could say Al-Qurani, right? But that doesn't mean there's two Qurs. That's Quran is part of the word. So just get used to that. And you've known this from before Arabic. You knew Ar-Rahman is Allah's name. So yeah, sometimes an can be part of a word. Just how the word is spelled. Other question?
When it comes to Allahi Ar-Rahmani, how do we know that's Mawsuf Sifa and not Mudaf ilayh?
Oh, well, the word Allah is Allah's name, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's name will ever be a mudaf. No, a person's name is never a mudaf, and Allah's name, obviously, is never a mudaf. So that can't be mudaf ilayh. The word Allah will happen in the Quran. If it happens, it'll happen as a mudaf ilayh, never a mudaf. That's never going to happen. Next question.
So when it comes to Mawsuf Sifa, how do we know which one is the noun and which one is the adjective?
The first word that matched, this was a chain of three things that matched, right?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So the first of them will be the noun.
Yeah.
The noun is called the Mawsuf. What's it called?
Mawsuf.
Mawsuf. And then the adjectives are all called Sifa.
Yeah.
So the first one's mawsuf. The rest of them are sifa number 1, sifa number 2, sifa number 3. Keep going. Got it?
Yeah.
Make sense? Jawad, we're good? Wow, Splinter Deadshot's got like the Punisher icon, and I think he's referring to Splinter Cell and Deadshot. Wow, it's pretty epic. Anyway,
Can you explain one more time how the word Allah is mudaf ilayh?
Of course, the word Allah is jar, and it's followed by ismi, which is light and no al. Whenever you have light and no al followed by jar, you get mudaf and mudaf ilayh.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about discovering that is mudaf ilayh. And let me give you another example. I'll take this off the screen now. Abdullahi. The word abdu is light, no al. The word Allah is jar, right?
Yeah.
So slave of Allah. Or Rasulullahi, the messenger of Allah. Rasulu is light, no al, followed by jar. So the messenger of Allah. The same way, Ismullahi. Ism is name, the name of Allah.
Yeah.
Okay, same concept. The only reason it became Ismi is because the ba was before it.
Yeah.
Okay, good to go? Jawad?
Yes.
Okay. Alhamdu. Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to write this.
Like-
Not this Alhamdu part, because this is the part I will teach you maybe tomorrow. I don't think we'll get time today. But so Alhamdu you'll skip. Then we say Lillahi, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to write like this. I'll write the Arabic and then I'll write the
English.
Lillahi.
I can like sort of like write pretty like neat with Arabic.
Sort of neat.
But you can't. You remember Sheikh Hazmi? What he did when you couldn't write?
I got mad.
Yeah, he grabbed my note. He grabbed my notebook. Hit him with my notebook.
Your notebook was like soft.
I know it was like one of those bendy ones.
I like the bendy ones.
Okay. We're going to skip Alhamdu for now.
Okay.
Now, Lillahi. Lillahi, if I want to spell it in English, it would be like this.
Yeah.
Is actually two words. It's li
Mm-hmm.
plus Allahi.
Allah.
Now, the word li is ba, ta, kaf,
Lam.
lam. And lam makes the next word jar.
Jar.
So lillahi is jar,
Jar.
jar majroor.
Yeah.
It's two words, jar plus majroor. Jawad, keep an eye on the questions as I go through this so that I don't take questions at the end. I take questions as they come up on each piece. So right now I'll take any questions on lillahi. Okay,
Got
like
it.
that. Okay. And students also ask relevant questions. If I'm talking about lillahi and you have a question about lillahi, then ask that. And then when we get to Rabbi, then ask that, etc. Like as we continue. So lillahi is jar and majroor,
Yes.
right? Now I want the four properties of the word Allahi inside lillahi. I'm just writing the word Allahi again because I just want the four properties of it. And we kind of did it in Bismillahi.
Yeah.
So it's the same word, so we can kind of go quickly.
Jar.
It's jar, it's
No,
one, masculine and proper, right? So that was
Yeah.
already done.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. There is a question on lillahi,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a similar question on bismi.
Why the alif is missing?
Not the alif, but why is it lam kasra and ba kasra instead of fatha?
The harf of jar B is always pronounced B. They just decided that at a barbecue. So it's never basmallah or bismillah. It's always B. A'udhu billahi, bismillahi, sabbih, bi rabbikal kareem, ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. You're never going to read ba ashabil fil or bu ashabil fil. It's always going to be B. So B is always going to be B. And the lam will pretty much always be li unless it's on a pronoun, then it'll be la. Otherwise, it's going to be li. And the way to remember that is alhamdulillah. Lillah. That's the standard. Other question?
Yeah. Now we're getting questions about how lillah is two words.
Oh, it's just how it's written. It's li, Allahi becomes
I don't think it's right.
lillahi. Yeah, I'm just explaining.
Okay.
So it's li and then Allahi, and in Arabic, when you fuse them together, you write them like that. Okay, when you see that, that means lillahi.
Yeah.
Okay, So this is important now, guys. Watch this carefully. This is how you say Allah. And this is how you say Lillah.
Yeah.
It's like you took one off, but you're saying more.
Yeah.
And you're saying this one, the red one, I'll make it red. Remember, in the Quran, when you see this one, it's 2 words.
Yeah. Lillah.
Li and Allah.
Yeah.
If you see this one, it's just 1 word, Allah.
Allah.
If you see this one, it's 2 words, Lillah. Okay? Remember that. Okay, good. Good that you asked. Inshallah, that'll never confuse again. Okay, so Li and Allah is done, Jar Majroor, right?
Yeah.
Rabbi. Looks like rabbi. I mean to say Rabbi though.
Yeah.
Okay. Rabbi, before I write about it, don't write this yet, but I'm gonna wonder if it's a mudaf.
B.
The reason I even care to ask that question is I noticed that it's light, and I know that normally a word should be heavy. So I'm gonna take that a little further. That investigation, I'll take that a little further, right? So, is it possibly a mudaf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's light and
And
it doesn't
no
have
al.
al. Okay, so what I will write with Rabbi is it's light, no al. That I should write. Go ahead. And since I'm on that investigation, I'll come back to Rabbi, but al-alamina, could it be jar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ina. It's
Nasab or jar,
jar,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But because it's next to
Mudaf.
mudaf candidate,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with
Jar.
Jar.
jar. Okay. Now let me remind you of something. This is an important concept. We didn't do enough of it, but now it's time to do it in detail. Okay.
Okay.
Have you guys agreed that Rabbil Alamina is mudaf and mudaf ilayh?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this one as mudaf and this one as
Mudaf ilayh.
mudaf ilayh. But that's not enough.
We gotta prove it.
No, we already proved it.
Oh, okay.
We've already proven it because we already showed that Rabbi is light and no al,
Yeah.
and al-alamina is jar, right? So we're already done with that.
Yeah.
We're good. Okay. But what I will do is I'll write Rabbi again here because I want to learn some more about it.
Okay.
I want 4 properties of the word Rabbi.
Okay.
In order, what's the order of the properties that I want?
Status number, gender, and type.
Wonderful. What's the status?
Or no,
Jar.
Good. Jar.
Jar. This is 1 because there's only
Very-
1. It's
very good.
masculine.
Good. Now stop. Was it a mudaf?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a new or relatively new thing. We've done it briefly, but I want you to get it in your heads. Whenever you have a mudaf, you don't write proper or common.
Oh, okay.
The last property, you stop.
Oh yeah, because you gotta check the next one and the next one.
Good. You got to check the next one. Meaning, whenever you you can get jar, 1 and masculine, fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to proper or common, we got to ask the mudaf ilay and then come back.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the last answer? The last answer is not going to come from Rabbi. What's it going to come from?
Alamina.
It's
Al-alamina. Al-alamina.
Oh, it's proper.
Proper or common?
Proper.
Why?
Because of the al.
Yes. Proper. Now, the hardest part. I'm going to write this together. Rabbi al-al, or I'll just say Rabbil Alameen.
You wanna start that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm looking at the whole thing together. Okay. We looked at Rabbi on its own, right?
Mhm.
We looked at Al-Alamina on its own. We figured out that they're mudaf ilayh. Then I asked you to figure out 4 properties of Rabbi. Fine. But now I want to look at Rabbil Alamina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ustad,
Yes.
there's a question on lillahi. When we added the lam, we took away the alif. So does that mean that now the word Allah can be mudaf because it's not proper anymore?
No, the word Allah doesn't have alif lam. The word Allah is 1 word. Also, right now, leave that question behind, because then when we're done with Rabbil Alamina and we're on Ar-Rahmani, then you're going to ask about Rabbil Alamina. Stay with me and we'll come back to Lillahi, that additional question. So which is why I said, you, Jawad, also, when students ask that, say we will answer that later, because right now I want everybody's focus on this, right? So we got to discipline focus, because otherwise you're not going to get it. And I really want you to get this. I really, really want you. And I promise I'll explain the Lillahi thing. I will. Whatever questions you have, I will answer, but I might not answer when you ask. I might have to discipline when I answer that question, right? Because if I answer all of your questions right now, then the focus will just start going in different directions, right? And it's okay for you to ask questions. I don't want you to feel bad about asking questions, but I do want you to train yourself. Oh, we're done with this concept. Now I can ask, right? So, but anyway, and somebody may have asked just at the right time, but there's so many comments that you got to it later. But now that we got to it later, we'll come back. When we're done with this, we'll come back to that question. So just keep note of it. Okay, Jawad?
Yep, got it.
Okay, thanks. All right, so now we're going to look at Rabbil Alamina together.
Yeah.
What I said to you before, I'll repeat. The mudaf has 4 properties. We already got those.
Yeah.
The mudaf ilayh has its own 4 properties. But what if somebody asked you, what are the properties of the whole thing? When you ask for the properties of the whole thing, you can give the same answer as the answer for the mudaf. I copy pasted it.
Oh, okay.
In other words, you know, what is a mudaf and a mudaf ilayh together called? They're called idafa.
Yeah.
The whole idafa has the same properties as the mudaf itself.
Okay.
And it's important. Remember I told you mudaf ilayh cannot be looked, they can't be separated?
Yeah.
So it's almost like in your head you have to think of it as one word, one phrase. And that phrase has 4 overall properties, like you put parentheses outside it. And those 4 properties are the same as the mudaf, jar, one, masculine, proper. Even though al-alamina on its own has its own properties, we're not looking at al-alamina right now or Rabb right now, we're looking at the whole thing. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
That's a difficult thing, I know. It's a new thing, relatively, but I want you to get used to it.
So how would
The
we get
mudaf
proper, though?
speaks for the entire idafa. The mudaf speaks for the entire idafa. Go ahead, your question.
So how would you get the proper though without alamina, because there's no al in the beginning?
Right, because how did we get proper for Rabbi? What did we have to do?
Because of the word, the thing.
Alamina.
And now that you figured it out, this speaks for the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
So Rabbi will never have al because it's a mudaf. It can never have al.
Yeah.
And it's never going to have tanween. I remember tanween was like a.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have a and it doesn't have the. So we're like, what are you?
Yeah.
So that's why we have to go to what? Mudaf ilayh.
Right.
And mudaf ilayh will tell us. Once it told us, this speaks for the entire phrase.
Okay.
You know, jar, one, masculine and proper.
Alright.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamina. What's the next word? Ar-Rahmani. Now we did this once.
Yes.
Now we can do it again. 4 properties, please.
Ar-Rahmani. Me.
Jar.
Good. It's
Yeah.
jar. Good.
One.
Remember, it's not ani is not a pair. It's part of the word,
Yeah.
right? It's not Ar-Rahmanani.
Yeah.
Good. Is it one?
Yes.
Masculine?
Yes.
Why is it proper?
Because of al.
Good. Ar-Rahimi. Let's do that. What do you think about Rahimi?
It's jar.
Yes.
Yes.
It's one.
Yes.
It's masculine.
Yes.
Improper because of the al.
Because of the al. Jar because of the e at the end.
Yeah.
One in masculine because there's no sign of feminine. It's one of Allah's names. We already know that. So it's one. Masculine. Proper because the al in the beginning.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now the fun begins. Maliki. What's unusual about Maliki? Your ears should be now trained to say something is off. Something is off. More than that. Normally, finish the sentence. Normally, a word should be.
Heavy. Heavy, yeah. Heavy.
So this
Is it?
No,
No.
this is light. So this is a jar.
And on top of being light,
It's jar. And it has no al.
has no al, which means it might be a.
Mudaf.
Okay, so I'm not going to write this yet, but I'm going to put a question mark.
Yeah.
Right? So you can write Maliki, but don't write Mudaf yet.
Okay.
Do you know why I got Mudaf? Because Maliki is light and doesn't have al. You heard it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do we prove it?
It has a mudaf ilayh.
Yeah.
Yomi,
Yomi.
does it have?
Yeah, that's jar.
It's jar.
Which means that this is definitely a Mudaf
Mudaf ilayh.
ilay. which means I can take my question mark off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So Maliki is mudaf and Yomi is
Yeah.
mudaf ilayh. Okay. But I'm starting to look at Yomi a little suspiciously also.
Yeah, because it
Why am I looking at Yomi suspiciously?
doesn't have
I'll tell you.
yeah, because it doesn't have an L either. No.
And it's also light.
Yeah.
Light, no al. I thought that's for what?
Jar.
That's
Or
for
mudaf.
that's for mudaf. And it's okay for a word to be a mudaf ilayh for someone else
Yeah.
and a mudaf for someone else. It's
Yeah.
okay. Maybe it is a mudaf. I don't know, but I can verify. How do I verify?
If the word after it.
And it's adini,
Adini is E, so that's jar.
which means it
It's
is
mudaf ilayh.
mudaf ilayh, which means this is in fact a mudaf.
Mudaf.
So I wrote Yomi twice because it's mudaf ilayh, but it's also mudaf at the same
Yeah.
time. Questions about that so far?
There's a question on how do we know when we need to look at a word twice? How it can have two? How do we know when a word will have two roles?
When what did I say about normal and abnormal? Normal is heavy.
Yeah.
When it's light, no al. When it's light, first of all, you should start thinking, why did it become light? And that's when you have to look at it twice. And I'm writing it twice so you separate concepts. Okay? So you really think about one concept at a time. You think about Maliki and the relationship with Yomi on its own. Then you think about Yomi and its relationship with Adini on its own. That's why I'm writing it twice. I could just write, oh, it's a mudaf ilayh plus a mudaf. That will be confusing for you because then you're like, what does he mean by that? So I'm writing it twice over. So I'm saying, think of it this way. Now think of it this way too.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's the hard part. I'm going to have you figure this out. You've already taken notes on this.
Yeah.
I want 4 properties of Maliki. This is the hardest part of this entire exercise.
It is?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Maliki.
I want 4 properties of the word Maliki.
It's jar.
Okay, I agree.
It is Maliki stands for angels.
No, Maliki means owner.
Owner?
Mhm.
Oh.
Malaika is angels.
Oh, okay.
So don't worry about meanings.
Okay, Maliki.
Malik is one of the names of Allah. That I'll tell you.
So it's jar, yeah.
We
So
got
it's
jar.
jar. One
One.
masculine.
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 And then proper.
Proper.
I don't know about proper. How do I get proper?
Yeah, because it's a name.
No.
It's one of the names.
I could be an owner of a house.
Oh, so it's common.
No. That's why I said this is the hardest question.
Oh wait, no, you gotta get the word after it
Why?
because it's a mudaf.
Good, Ahmed. A mudaf can never tell you the answer to what?
The common or proper.
That's what needs to get drilled in your head. A mudaf cannot tell you common or proper. It can tell you the other things. Jar, one, and masculine, you got right. But the one thing you cannot get from a mudaf is what?
The proper.
Okay,
proper
now,
common.
if I can't, I've written all of this out over here.
Yeah.
Maliki is the mudaf. Who's the mudaf ilayh?
Yomi.
So maybe Yomi can tell me.
Yeah.
Go ahead and ask Yomi. Find out.
Yomi is jar.
No, but I don't want to ask if it's jar.
Yomi.
Is it common or proper?
Right.
Yeah.
Good, Mariam. I want to ask Yomi, are you common or proper?
Yomi is proper
Why?
because
Does it have al?
no.
No.
So if it doesn't have it's common.
No.
Wait, no. If it doesn't have al,
Is it a mudaf?
yes.
It's a mudaf ilayh, I know that.
Yeah.
But is it a mudaf also?
Yes.
Isn't that the same problem as Maliki?
Yeah.
Maliki can't answer that question because he's a mudaf.
Yeah.
When I came to Yomi, I said, can you answer that question? And Yomi said, what?
No, I can't.
I can't answer that question because I'm also a what?
Mudaf.
Sorry. Let me go call somebody.
Oh, okay.
Who's Yomi gonna call?
Adini.
Adini. Adini says you're right. This is a religious question.
Yeah.
It's a Dini question.
Adini.
I can tell you if you're proper or not. Adini says what?
Yeah, I'm proper
Why?
because I have al.
Al,
Yeah.
which means Yomi is what?
Proper.
If Adini is proper, that means Yomi is
Proper.
proper. And if Yomi is proper, then
Yeah, proper.
Maliki is
proper.
Yeah.
proper.
Oh, okay.
How somebody says, how do you know Maliki is proper? You never know if a mudaf is proper or common.
Yeah.
You have to ask the mudaf ilayh. So the word Maliki has to get the answer from Yomi. But Yomi cannot give the answer because it's also a mudaf. So it has to go to its own mudaf ilayh, which is ad-dini. Ad-dini has al in the beginning,
Yeah.
which means it's proper, which makes yawmi, the mudaf, proper, which makes maliki, its own mudaf, proper. By the way, what goes in when you translate, what goes between a mudaf and a mudaf ilayh? Owner of the day of judgment. That's why there's ofs. The owner of the day of judgment. What are the four properties of maliki?
Jar, one masculine,
proper.
And the final question. What are the four properties of the whole? Because I said an idafa, when it's a string of idafa,
Yeah.
you look at all of it as one.
Yeah.
How do I, if somebody asks, what are the four properties of this whole thing? What would you say?
Jar, one masculine, plural.
Or
Proper.
Proper.
Why?
sorry.
Why would you say that? Why would you say
all
that?
of them match?
Because all of the match.
No, not because all the match. Because a mudaf.
Oh yeah.
Oh, a mudaf.
Because a mudaf speaks for the whole idafa.
Yeah.
You figured out the mudaf. Don't just say yeah if you don't get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear yeah you actually get it.
Mm-hmm.
A mudaf. You figured out the mudaf's four properties?
Yes.
That represents the whole mudaf ilayh chain.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I put all the chain together, and then to describe all of it, I took the four properties of the mudaf.
Mudaf.
Okay, now let's go back up. In your notes, give me underline the four properties of the word Allah.
Allah.
Allah is
Allah is Jad.
Is it jimp?
Yeah, it's jump.
Is it
Yeah,
jimp?
Yeah,
Jim.
it's jump.
Okay, underline jimp.
Jump. You're not saying it right. It's jump.
Jump. That's like
Jump.
okay.
That's how we say it.
What about Rabbil Alamina? What are the four properties of Rabbil Alamina? The whole phrase.
Jump.
Underline it. What about Ar-Rahmani? What are the four properties?
Jump.
What about Ar-Rahimi? Underline it.
Ar-Rahimi. Where is it? Oh, Ar-Rahimi is jump.
Okay. What about the whole Maliki Yawmiddini?
Jump.
Now let me show you some Arabic. Lillahi is a harf of jar.
Yes.
It's a jar majroor.
Yes.
The word Allah has certain properties. Rabbil Alameen is a mudaf ilayh.
Yeah.
But that entire mudaf ilayh has the same properties as the word Allah.
Yes.
Ar-Rahmani is a separate word, but it has the same properties as Allah, the word Allah. Ar-Rahimi is a separate word, but it has the same properties as the word Allah. Maliki Yawmiddini is a double mudaf and mudaf ilayh and mudaf and mudaf ilayh, but overall it has the same four properties as the word Allah. Right?
Yeah.
That means that the word Allah is the noun or the mawsuf. Rabbil Alameen is adjective number 1. Ar-Rahman is adjective number 2. Ar-Rahim is adjective number 3. And Maliki Yawmiddini is adjective number 4. They're all connected to each other into 3 ayat. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddini. If you said Ar-Rahmanu over here, it wouldn't be connected to the word Allah anymore.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't match.
Yeah.
Then it wouldn't be an adjective.
Then it
If-
change the meaning.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be the same meaning as we have now. Meaning Allah is being described because an adjective is a description, right?
Yeah.
So Rabbil Alameen is description number 1.
Yeah.
Ar-Rahman is description number 2. Ar-Rahim is description number 3. Maliki Yawmiddin is description number 4. So now we have connected, because of the 4 properties of the ism, because of learning mudaf and mudaf ilayh, and because of learning noun and adjective, and because of learning harf of jar, because of those few things. Now ayat are starting to come together, not just a word. Ayat are starting to mesh together. This is clearly brain explosion. I want you to sit through this and go through this again, read through that again. Try to process it again. Actually try to do this as a homework assignment. I wouldn't even give you more Arabic today. I was going to finish all the ism study. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. What I want you to do is just this. Lillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. You know how you wrote it out?
Yeah.
I want you to write it out, but without copying it. I want you to write it out, figuring it out, and then come back to this. Come to these notes when you get stuck, and figure out where you got stuck, and then go and try to start over and write it without looking at it again, and then show me the final version where you wrote it from top to bottom. This whole thing. Lillahi is jar majroor. The word Allah has 4 properties. How did everything connect, right? When you get this without looking at your notes, when you can write this yourself, you figure, then you have applied it to the Quran properly. Okay? So that's your only homework assignment, is to really understand what in the world just happened here. Okay? This is very powerful stuff. We have now you're learning something about Quran that because again, every time I teach you something about Arabic, you're learning something about the Quran, right? So what did we learn about the Quran today? What we learned about the Quran today is, and there are, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen is one ayah. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim is another ayah. Maliki Yawmiddin is another ayah. So how many ayahs? 3 ayahs. But the grammar was all connected, right? What we're learning is you can have multiple ayahs, but it's still one sentence. It's still one sentence. In English, if it's one sentence, you don't put a full stop until the end. But in Arabic, there are 3 different ayahs, but it's not even 3 different sentences. It's still one sentence. How do we know that? Because everything keeps going back and connecting and connecting and connecting. So it's not a separate sentence, right? Now, why is that important? Because that's just like in English. You cannot take parts of a sentence and separate them. What Allah is telling us is, you cannot separate my ayat. One of the things Allah is telling us is, my ayat are supposed to be taken how? Together, like one sentence. If Allah wanted, He could have made all of this one single ayah, and it would have been one single sentence. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. One sentence. But He decided to take that one sentence and make it into how many? 3 ayat, to teach us you can have multiple ayat, but you don't get to cut them apart and say, I'm going to focus on this ayah and ignore that ayah. So from the very beginning of the Quran, Allah is teaching us a lesson. And that lesson is, ayat are supposed to be looked at together. Just like a sentence is supposed to be looked at together, right? So we don't, because people, what do? They take a quote from the Quran somewhere. They take an ayah and say, oh, Quran says this. Did you take it together with everything else it's saying in that surah? Did you put it together, or did you just pluck one thing out? Right? If, for example, if somebody just plucked out Maliki Yawmiddin, Master of the Day of Judgment, and they took out all the other descriptions of Allah, then we wouldn't know enough about Allah. We just know that He owns Judgment Day, but we don't know that He's loving or caring, that He's the Master, that He expects something. He just owns Judgment Day, that's all. It'd be a half picture, a third picture of who Allah actually is. We wouldn't know, right? So this is, through grammar, we actually learn our approach to studying the Quran, approach to understanding how Allah speaks to us. Okay, so I'm very happy for both of you and for all of you that we have gotten this far. Just think about this. We're 7 days in now, 7 days in, and we're having this conversation. Now imagine watching this video, or take somebody who you know in your family who's not doing this, and just show them this clip for 5 minutes of this video today. And they're like, what is this? This is just too advanced. What are you talking about? How long have you been doing this? In 7 days, you're having this conversation. Even if you're struggling, even the fact that you're even asking these questions is an incredible accomplishment. The fact that you're struggling even is an incredible accomplishment. I am so happy for you.
It's like New Year's.
It is.
Fireworks.
It is absolutely. It is without a doubt. You're starting to collect ayat of the Quran now. You're seeing Fatiha in a different way. You're seeing every harakah in the Fatiha, every ending in the Fatiha serve a purpose. That these were just sounds to you a week ago. And now they're meaning. They're meaning. So this is a very, very beautiful thing that I'm super happy about for all of you. And inshallah, there's actually Jawad, do we have the PDF for the Fatiha breakdown? Is that a supplement? Because it used to be.
I'm not sure, actually.
I'm gonna dig it up. I think I have a supplement for it, but I still want you to come up with it on your own without looking. You took notes already. I went slow so you could take notes on it, but I really want you to guys to come up with this yourself. Struggle through it and come up with it yourself. And
Yes, it's on the study resources. It's called Day 6B.
Okay, 6B, yeah. 6B, the download 6B is this. But you can look at it if your notes are hideous, so it'll help you. But really, I want you to come up with it yourself, right? Now, the question was about lillahi. What was the question?
It was when we're adding the lam, we're taking away the alif at the beginning. So does that mean that the word Allah is now light, and Allahi and Rabbi can be an idafa?
Okay, so the word Allah is, it's going to take me 10. Okay, it's not an Arabic class then. Arabic class is over. We're just going to talk about Allah for 10 minutes, okay? And then we'll call it a day, okay? The word Allah is the most beautiful word in the Arabic language. And the reason it's the most beautiful word in the Arabic language is because it is, just like Allah can't be compared to anyone else, the word Allah cannot be compared to anything else. You see, when you say Ya, let me start with this. When you say Ya, then you don't say Al with it. So you say Ya Rabb, Ya Rahman, Ya Khaliq. Yes?
Yes.
But we say Ya Allah. We say Ya Allah.
Yeah.
You know what that means? That's not an Al. If this was an Al, you couldn't say Ya Allah.
You could say Ya Allah.
Ya Ilah. It would be Ya Ilah. But actually, this is not Al Ilah. It's one word. There are grammatical debates, historical debates. Is the word Allah made up of Al Ilah? Ilah means God, right? Ilahun, like La ilaha illallah. We say that in the kalima.
Yeah.
So is it Al Ilah? And then people said it enough times that it just became Allah. Is it that? Or is Allah originally a name? You can't break it up and there's no Al in the beginning. That's just the name of Allah. My position, what I'm more convinced of, is that the word Allah is actually the original name of Allah. There's no Al in it. It's the name. And one of the evidences of that is you can say what? Ya Allah. While in Arabic you cannot say Ya Al anything. You don't put Al when you say Ya, but we say Ya Allah. Okay? Now, so we know that it doesn't have Al in the beginning, right? So let's compare it to another word, just so you can see how unique it is. So Allah, and I'll take the word, let's just say kitab, a regular Arabic word. So I'm saying this one doesn't have Al, and this one also doesn't have Al. Now, if it doesn't have Al, it should have Un, or An, or In, right? Because normally a word should be light or heavy.
Yes.
It should be heavy. But so if this is not Al, you should see Allahun, Allahan, or Allahin. Because normally a word should be heavy. But the word Allah breaks the rules of Arabic. No other word gets this. It's always Allahu, Allaha, and Allahi. Always. It has to be light. And usually when a word is light and always light, then it becomes partly flexible. So it's like Yusufu, Yusufa, Yusufa. But the word Allah is always light, and yet it's still fully flexible. Allahu, Allaha, and Allahi.
So just the alif always just comes with it.
Yes. Now, well, let's talk about the alif. In Arabic, in tajweed, in makharij, and in tajweed, we have light letters and heavy letters. So we say kha, sa, ba, but ba.
Yeah.
You don't say ba, you say
ba.
ba, but you say ba, right? You say qa, but you say ka, right? So some words you're frowning, qa, and some words you're smiling, ka, right? Say this one.
La.
Is it law?
No.
La. It's by definition, lam is supposed to be la. But the word Allah, we don't say Allah.
Allah.
Even though lam in all of Arabic is light, When it comes to the word Allah, it's heavy.
Heavy.
In every way, the word Allah is it can't be compared to any other word in Arabic. Just like Allah can never be compared to any creation. Like, it's just so beautiful that the word Allah is like that. So the reason I brought that up is the question was, will the word Allah be a mudaf because the alif is missing? No, it won't be. No, it won't be, because that alif isn't part of alif lam. That alif is not part of alif lam. It's just omitted in writing when you put a preposition. But there are other, only with lam. But if I say bi, I say billahi. The alif is still there. If I say fi, I say fillahi. Okay. If I say min, I say minallahi. Minallahi. Okay. If I say wa, I don't say wallahi like that. I say wallahi with an alif. So the only time the alif even goes away is with lam lillahi. And that's just a writing standard. Just because there's too many lams now, so it would be redundant to write it like that. So it just became fused together. Lillahi, that's it.
That would be
Okay.
Fusa Arabic. Would that be like Fusa? The way they write
This
it
is
now?
this is Lughat al-Arab. But the Arabs didn't write back then like this. Their writing was very different. But one day I'll show you what they used to write like, inshallah.
You know how to write like that?
No, I know how to read like that a little bit.
Oh.
But write like that, no. There's some artifacts in museums and stuff
Yeah.
like that that they have on the subject. Other questions before we wrap up?
You have to press no.
When we're looking at idafa strings, how do we determine the properties of the whole string?
Just the mudaf. Once you figured out the mudaf, you can speak for the whole thing.
So on Maliki Yawmiddin, where we have two mudafs, what do we do?
Okay, so in Maliki Yawmiddin, what the way to think about it is the word that's in the driver's seat is Maliki. Once you figured out the four properties of Maliki, it speaks for the entire idafa. This guy's a second mudaf, but it's in the middle. It's already playing a mudaf ilayh role. That's not our primary. Maliki is our primary. Okay? So I'll give you a long string idafa, another one. Dhikru rahmati rabbika. This is in Quran, okay? So dhikru is light, no alif lam. That would be a mudaf. Rahmati is jar. That would be a mudaf ilayh. But rahmati is also light, no alif lam, making it also a mudaf. Rabbi is jar, making it a mudaf ilayh. Rabbi is light, no alif lam, which makes it a mudaf also. Mudaf, because it's light, no alif lam. An attached pronoun could be jar, therefore is jar. So that would be the mudaf ilayh. So dhikru mudaf, rahmati mudaf ilayh. Rahmati mudaf, Rabbi mudaf ilayh. Rabbi mudaf, ka mudaf ilayh. And somebody says, give me the four properties of this whole thing. All I got to do is figure out the four properties of dhikru, which would actually be rafa, because of the one, because there's dhikr is singular. Dhikr has no sign of feminine, so it's masculine. But I cannot answer the proper common question because mudaf can never answer that question. So I'm going to go find the answer for proper or common from Rahmati. Rahmati says, man, dude, I got the same problem. It's a bad economy. I'm a mudaf myself. Go ask the Rabb. The word Rabb is also mudaf. Doesn't have that answer. So the Rabb has to go to what word? The word Rabb has to go to the word ka. Ka is a pronoun. All pronouns are proper. All pronouns are proper. Because this is proper, Rabbi is proper. Because Rabbi is proper, Rahmati is proper. Because Rahmati is proper, Dhikru is proper. And this, since you figured this out, this Rafa' one singular, Rafa' one masculine proper speaks for the entire thing. Even though there's a feminine in between. Even though there's jars in between. This Rafa' one MP speaks for the entire thing. If you put parentheses around it, this is what it's represented by.
I've never imagined it like this. I'm like Tony Stark right now. Like when he found that new element in the movie. I feel like him like right now.
That's a good time to end the class. I think that's a pretty good reference. Okay. Other questions? Let people like, yes, slightly overwhelming. Slightly. I went fast on this one, but good thing it's recorded, right?
Yeah.
So go back and listen to the last 2 minutes. Process.
I've never like imagined like Quran like with rafa, nasab, jar, like pronouns.
Oh, okay. I'll end with this. One student wrote, Ustad, I used to be able to read Quran normally, but after your class, I can't stop thinking about Rafa, Nasab, Jar, Mudaf, Mudaf ilayh when I hear the Quran. What should I do? My prayers are getting messed up. And I wrote back, great. I'm so happy because this messed up phase is what's going to lead to eventually Allah just talking to you when you're praying. Then you think I think about Rafa, Nasab, Jar when I'm praying? I don't, but I used to. I used to be like, Mulaf, Mawsuf, Sifa number 1, Sifa number 2, Jar Majroor. Oh, distant adjective. Allahu Akbar. That used to be me. And then slowly that became second nature. Then slowly the vocabulary started kicking in. Slowly just became Allah talking. That's just Allah speaking. And then sometimes I'm listening to the Imam recite and I hear something in Nasab. And I'm like, Ya Allah, you said that in Nasab? Why did you say that in Nasab? And I finish the prayer. And then I go start reading tafsirs about why was that word Nasab? Why did you do that? Why did you do this Rafa? Hey, why was that proper? It's common in this other ayah. Then you just start paying attention to what Allah is saying. Paying attention in a different way. At a different level. Like you're focused on every word. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Hatta yasma'a kalam Allah. Until he hears the word, the speech of Allah. That's what we're trying to get at. And alhamdulillah, we're making remarkable progress. Even though we're behind on I knew teaching online and teaching just you guys is going to be a different pace. So this is a shot in the dark. The material I finish in 10 days, I'm not going to finish in these 10 days, but I'm completely happy about that. And I'm making those adjustments accordingly. So I know exactly where I'm going to finish, inshallah ta'ala, in 3 days from now. So, and it'll be a good place. There's still stuff you won't know, but that's okay. We've got a longer journey to go, right? But you'll know quite a bit. Aren't you seeing quite a bit already?
Yeah.
Right? And by the next 2 days, your world's just going to, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. What's going to happen the next couple of days? You don't even know what's coming.
This is just the battle.
Oof. Alhamdulillah. Very, very happy. It's a really rewarding thing for me, and I hope it is for all of you too. And thank you for sending me those messages. I really enjoyed watching them. Really proud of all of you. The work you're putting in, the dedication, how enthused you are, how your kids have energy. Keep that up. Allah put blessing in your life and make the noor of this study of Quran show up in all the other parts of your life. Every other part of your life should get lit up because you're giving Allah this time with this book. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.